You made Facebook Live right now? Bro. Oh, just the intro. Okay. So we can start tagging. I can start tagging people in this.
What up, bro? I'll turn it on. Okay. Got me.
Here we go.
What's up, fam? How you doing, bro? Life, baby. Oh, man, can't be better, man. Life is good, bro. Just day by day. Attack this world how we need to. You know what I'm saying? Gotta attack this world. See. Hey, T, go get my charger out the out my room, bro.
That looks good.
Yeah, right here, man. Okay, straight right here, bro.
Oh no, what the?
Take your time, big dog. Take your time now.
I did something. They gotta did something.
I don't know. I thought you was out there.
Me? Oh, man. Come on.
All right.
I thought it was oh, man.
Oh, Derek got.
Listen right there. Hey, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Until we start, is there a way that you can mute? Because people are calling me, telling me they can hear us already. What during the intro?
Hey. I can't hear. I can't hear.
I'm telling you, I'm at that bed. I'm telling you. Fuck out the room.
Y'all hear in the background, there's a lot of money going on back there. The boy figured whoop. Like whale caught that live whooping. Hey, I'm gonna tell you too, you got a whoop, motherfucker. Who? Oh, y'all pussy, man. I understand my mom now. Alright, bro, here we go. You ready?
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm gonna ask her if she can still hear me because I just got a call. I just got a call saying I can hear you talking to Mo. So that's what I'm saying.
You've been so foolish. When I think about you each and every day. Oh, baby.
Hey there, everybody. How y'all doing? This is your boys from State of the Muck. We are glad to be with y'all again, and we just so happy to be able to talk again and conversate about what's going on in our community. We got the one and only Derek Bolden. We got the one and only Alvin Dean in the house with us again. Man, he's blessing us again. I appreciate that. We appreciate that, Alvin. And I think,
man, thank you guys, man. Bless.
I think from the response we got last week, Alvin might be a permanent fixture in the State of the Muck.
I like that idea.
I like it too.
Hey, I can't trust that in America, bro.
Yeah, right. I hear you, man. So we about to get popping. Derek, man, lead us off, bro. Lead us off, man, for the day, man.
You know what I'm saying? The first few episodes that we did, man, were amazing. We talked about the history of the Muck, and we talked about Pokey specifically. Then we went and talked about Belgrade and South Bay. Then we got Alvin Dean on and everything. We started talking about issues that we have to deal with, you know what I'm saying, within the Muck. And, you know, I called him up the other day and I said, you know, bro, what should we talk about? And I called Mo too. And the same thing, everybody's on the same page. It's like we need to start talking about some solutions to a lot of the issues that we're facing. And you know, there's no magic bullet to this.
Nope.
And you know, we're gonna just share our point of view on this thing and you know, see what comes out of it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dean?
Hey, we just gotta start over, bro. We gotta do it now, man. We have to really just start over. Just start at the bottom with just like spirituality, way we eat. You know what I mean? Just, you know what I mean? Everyday activity. We just gotta start over, man. Because the system we in is rotten. It's rotten to the core. It's rotten to the core. You have politics. You have so much in this system to the point where, man, it just has to start over, man.
Yeah.
Point blank period. You know what I mean? Because everybody's scheming. The system itself is just a mess, man. It's a monster. So we just need a fresh system, man. Straight up and down, man.
I agree with that, man. I agree with that because on so many levels, man, we are seeing now how it doesn't matter how honest you are. It doesn't matter how well-intentioned you are. They figure out a way to just shut it down, man, and just and mess it up. I mean, the most well-intentioned people, that's what happens, man, all the time. I agree with that, bro.
Oh, man, big time, man.
So do you think we should just think about this. What first of all, what power do we have to change the system? Or do we change the system or do we change ourselves first?
We change ourselves first as a nation. We have to find a nation. We have to find something that we can all identify ourselves with. You know what I mean? And then we start over. You know what I mean? We make sure it should be like we should be segregated again, man. You know what I'm saying? Have our own, so it just build our culture, man. You know what I'm saying? For the first time, not for the first time, but right now, just build our culture from the bottom up, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just start fresh with spirituality and everything, man. We need to.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned segregation. Let's talk about a place like where we from, of course, the Muck, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy that you bring that up because in a way it's like we already segregated. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. I think that part of the problem, it all goes back to us because we're not happy with living among each other and interacting with each other in that way. We always want to try to go and find something better. And you know what? I can't blame people for doing that because you get money, your own people steal from you, your own people rob you, and things like that or whatever. We have to make where we are safe for ourselves to be in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because we are segregated in a sense, socioeconomically.
Right, but we still in the American construct, right?
Yeah.
We got to go to these schools. We got to operate in the American way. So we still either way, like in this culture, man, you trap. You know what I'm saying? You trap, but you always gonna have to answer back to the monster. You know what I'm saying? So we just need to just completely get away from it, and you know what I mean? Get away from it and start our own, man. That's the only way, man. Because if not, politics always gonna seep its way back in, man. Yeah. Politics, man. And then it's greed, it's money, it's position. And right now you see in this country, right now you see in the American corporation, I don't say country, I'm gonna say the American corporation. You see white privilege and well, it was white privilege and white supremacy. They going at it, man. They going at it. You know what I'm saying? And it's about power, man.
But
It's about
listen,
power.
let's check this
Oh,
out
go ahead.
though. Let's go back to that part what you just said about the greed. It's greed.
It's greed.
I'm gonna put greed first. I'm gonna put greed first. No, I'm sorry. White supremacy first. White supremacy first, right? Greed is next, and
Yeah.
then this desire to have ultimate power. You feel what I'm saying? And so I think we got to get to the mind where we as black folk, we got to be okay with the idea that we're okay with ourselves. We're okay with being around each other. We're okay with each other's faults and mistakes. We're okay
Yes.
with each other's quirks. And I think
Yes.
that's the problem. We're not okay with ourselves. We're not okay in our own skin. So we
Right.
got to get to that. And then
Yeah.
I believe, and then we got to stop wanting their stuff. We
Yeah.
gotta stop wanting their stuff. It bothers me to, it bothers me, man, when I hear, when it comes time for us to have these conversations about how do we fix things, it always goes back to the stuff they always say we should have. We never
Right.
decide for ourselves and say, yo, no, we don't want to be built on greed. We don't want to be built on solely acquiring things. We want to be
Yeah.
built, like you said, Alvin, being built on spirituality, being built on taking care of our bodies, taking care of each other. That is important because if we're not living well, we're not eating well. What does your money mean? What does that money mean to you? What does that house mean to you? Like we seeing that now, you know. So I agree with you totally on
It's
that,
deep,
man.
man.
I agree
It's
with you
deep.
totally
It's
on that,
solid,
bro.
man. Hey, tell the Nate.
Hey,
I take it, man. You know what I'm saying? I was with it, big dog.
hey,
Hey,
come on, territory, bro. It is what it is. But you know
I
what?
love
Like,
it.
you know, Dean said it in the last when we talked about what's natural versus artificial, and in all of nature, in everywhere, all of nature, you get this one thing that's common among all creatures. They
Yeah.
take what they need, and they don't take nothing more or nothing less. They get what they need, and they're good. You know what I'm saying? The artificial is take as much as you can possibly take,
Mm,
regardless of whether somebody else
mm,
needs it or not.
mm,
See,
mm,
we got to get things back to the point where we
mm.
take what we need and we're good with what we have. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? All of nature
Amen.
Exactly.
does that. You don't see
Amen.
lions going around just killing it, killing up
No,
everything
no,
just to be
no,
killing it. You know what I'm saying? They
no.
take what they need and
Right.
they live life day to day in
Yeah.
that manner. You
Right.
feel me?
Right. Right.
So every creature does that except for us in this particular cultural womb that we were born into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Now,
Yeah.
this has to be said as well because we were born into this cultural womb. We
Yeah.
speak English, we eat the food that's here. You know what I'm saying? And we're growing up in a different cultural womb than our ancestors grew up in.
Right.
Okay, so now, um, so in essence, to put it in sports terms, we were born on this football field.
Right.
All right, and this football field has rules. There are rules to this game we were born into. You know, and the thing is, do we, you know, to leave the game is to leave the country
Mm,
because as long as
Yes.
you're here,
mm,
you're a part of the game.
mm.
Now,
Yeah.
I can learn how to play football, and I could play according to the, you know, you got the field is all lined up and everything or whatever, and the game itself has rules and plays. I can learn how to play, or I can get out. Those are the only two options that I know of. Now, here's the thing: if I get out, meaning leave the cultural room that I spent, you know, all of my days in,
Mm-hmm.
to go to a place that I'm not even familiar with, and I don't even know if I'll even be accepted there.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
do I play this game and learn how to play this game and use it as a tool for my growth and development and for the growth and development of my people? All right. Or do I get out of the game? And what's out of the game? Like what kind
Right.
of, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. And that's gonna be huge. You can't. We're not gonna be able to stay here and learn the game and all that. Like that. That's dead, man. Like how long we've been like trying to learn things and fix things and go along, and you know what I'm saying, like Tupac said, man, you know what I'm saying, we don't beg, we don't cry. It's like, nah, man, listen, man, we finna just start coming through the windows and the ceilings, man. You know what I'm saying? Or just give us our own, man. Give us space to build our own nation, man, because right now, bro, ain't no, man, it's rotten, bro. It's right. We can't stay here and try to learn anything else, man. Like I told you, man, it's a casket, bro. It's a casket and a tombstone.
But you know what though?
And it's dead end, man.
I agree.
We don't see this throughout history, man.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing what we're gonna have agreeing on with the nation is like starting with spirituality. The spirituality is gonna be like people gonna be disagreeing with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if we come as one with a nation, like what's gonna be our spirituality?
Right.
Is it gonna be Christianity? Is it gonna be whatever? You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta really just agree on a lot of things, man.
Let me not disagree. I think with the spirituality.
I can't hear y'all, bro.
Oh, my bad.
Damn, what?
Is that better? Hold on. You can't hear us?
I can hear you, but it's low.
Oh, okay. We'll get that right.
Mute your mic and then unmute it and see what happens. Because usually sometimes that happens when somebody call you. How we sound now?
Still low.
Everything good?
Go ahead.
All right. What I'm about to say is I think we got to get to the point where we understand that spirituality doesn't mean we got to practice the same. Spirituality needs to mean that we understand we all have the same foundation. Now, the practice of it may be different, and that should be okay. All right.
Yeah.
I remember something I read. I read it, that Malcolm X said this before he died. He said, when it comes to issues, when it comes to black issues, we got to leave our religion at the door. So you got to leave your religion at the door. He didn't say your spirituality. He said leave your religion at the door, because the religion we get them crossed up because that's the practice. So we get caught up in the practice of things, and I know some people are going to disagree with me on this, because we get so caught up in the practice of things, then we think, oh, I can't work with him because he don't practice like me. It's like, no. We've all got the same problem. We all got the same problem. We all got the same source of the problem. Now, your practice of spirituality should not negate what you and I are doing together. That's what it gotta be. That's the first thing we gotta get in our brain. And then the next part about that is this: we gotta get to the point where we realize that we gotta be able to work. We have to understand we have to work together no matter what happens. We gotta work together no matter if I don't fully understand the way you get to your issue, but we still gotta work together. At least hear each other out. Understand where the person is coming from, and then go from there. Because I think unless we understand that, we're gonna have a lot of issues. We're gonna have a lot of problems, and then we're always gonna be fighting each other. Always gonna be fighting each other. Always gonna be saying, "Oh man, I don't get this. I don't get that. I don't get this." You know what I'm saying? So I think we got to get to that point where we understand that, we got to stop fighting. We got to start understanding that it is okay, that it is cool if we disagree. It's okay if we disagree. It's okay if we don't understand fully what the other person say, but we understand that we got the same problem. We got the same issues, because this whole thing where we're always fighting about, man, like, it's that old saying, there's more than one way to get an answer to a math problem. Always more than one way to get an answer to a math problem, right? Yeah. We got to stop tripping off the fact that one person wants to do it 3 + 6 and another person wants to do 2 + 7. We're still getting the 9. We just got to get the 9.
Exactly, man. See, but it's hard to do stuff like that when you got politics, man. Yeah. Politics is the key, man. You know what I'm saying? Politics is the problem that we have. It's one of the biggest problems we have. Then it's spirituality. You know what I mean? And the government uses both. Back in the day, the church was the government. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And right now, man, they use the church, the Vatican and everything. Everything's intertwined. You know what I mean? It's just, I see the big construct and I see the mess. And then once you try to deal with the logistics of it, that's what they get you at. They gonna get you with the lawyers and different stuff like that. And they know all of the loopholes and different things that they can catch you in. We need to just get away and start fresh. Because right now a lot of people is tied into this construct in different ways, making money, doing different things. So they're not going to give up their livelihood, man. They're not going to give up their day-to-day life and that type of stuff, man. So this is real tough, man. But this is a revolutionary type moment right here, man, and it's big.
Okay, can I say one more thing on that?
Yeah,
You remind me of something I was about to say. We as black folk, or let me not just say black folk, but poor people, we got to get out of our brain that we cannot defeat the system.
right.
And I know that sounds really radical what I just said.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
got to get out of our brain because empires have fallen with lesser numbers than we have.
Right.
Whole empires have fallen by lesser numbers than what we have. The problem is, I heard this lady. I want y'all to check this lady out. Her name is Baina Bello. Baina Bello. She's a Haitian historian. Her name is Baina Bello. She said something. She said the problem is they not have only controlled our mind, they are in our soul.
Exactly, man.
They are in our soul. So even when something in us is saying you can win, something in us, something else within us is like, nah, man, we can't win this. We can't win this.
But okay. So here's the thing. One of our issues is we have a number of issues that I think gets in the way. The first thing I do is look at myself. When there's an issue, I look at myself first. All right. I think about, was I prepared to deal with this issue? Yes or no? At the end of the day, you got to look at yourself first. All right. In the event that we say, okay, we want completely out of the system, we want completely out of America, or whatever. And mind you, that has been attempted before. And I'm gonna tell you what happened because Umar talked about this. He talked about the brothers and sisters that went over to Liberia from America, and how when they got over there, they were just as bad as the Europeans were, because this is what they came from. They didn't respect the culture. They didn't respect all of the things that made these people who they were, and they were just as bad, if not worse, than the Europeans who colonized the area. Okay, so now we have yet to prove. Let's just say I'm gonna put it this way. All right, I'm gonna go back to the detention center when it was first built. We have to prove that we have the ability to run a detention center, let alone a city, and let alone a nation. If you don't have what it takes to govern yourself and to govern your neighborhoods and to even govern a detention center, you know what I'm saying? Then how are you going to go out and start a nation and govern and run that? We haven't proven to ourselves that we can govern anything.
But bro, the thing is, we trying to use this type of government. This is an Englishman government or whatever. We got to get away and find our own, man. Find our own essence. It's about essence and spirituality and our DNA and doing the things that make us go. Eat the food that our people need to eat and things like that. Just start over, man. Because if we bring anything out of this construct, man, it's gonna be like a snake, man. It's gonna be like a disease.
I'm just saying, I haven't seen us. We have yet, even through all the things that we've been through, we have yet to just simply unify and organize. We don't have a strategic plan for anything. We like to riot. We like to.
Black Panther. Did it one for the Black Panther?
Yeah, it was done. It was done through the Black Panther Party. But what I'm saying, as a whole, protesting and things like that is not going to get us where we need to be. Okay, the Black Panther Party did have it going on, but as a people, you know what I'm saying? This has to be something that we all are a part of. If some of us do it, it ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Just like if some of our women choose to have higher standards, if only a handful of them choose to have higher standards, it's not gonna work. If only a handful of our men choose to have higher standards, it's not gonna work. It has to be a collectivistic approach to it. And that means that every individual has to see their actions as affecting everybody. And we have yet to be there. We still argue differences. It's kind of like the heart say to the brain, I don't need you. Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, everybody can bring something to the table. It doesn't
Right.
matter where you are socioeconomically. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter where you are in terms of your education, even within this American construct. It doesn't matter. Everybody is important.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten that. We haven't gotten that in our heads that everybody is important. The
Right.
person from the bottom who on the street, or you know what I'm saying, all the way up to the joker who's a lawyer, you
Right.
know what I'm saying, and think he got it going on. Everybody is equal in terms of their importance. You know what I'm saying? Our jobs are different, but we're all important.
Right.
We, like for example, you know, I went to college, and you know, I obtained my master's degree. But on the way to obtaining my master's degree, I learned a lot of things from my parents. Number one, don't ever think you're better than nobody.
Right.
And I don't and then they told me I don't care how successful somebody else becomes. Don't ever allow them or allow yourself to think that they're better than you.
Right.
I was taught that by my parents. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, I have respect for the brother that has a GED, don't have a GED, dropped out of school in the fifth grade, seventh grade, whatever. I have respect for everybody on every level, even though I went and got a master's degree.
Right.
Because I understand that these people are important.
Right.
But what we
Yeah.
have a tendency to do is, I got educated, so I'm gonna talk down on the people who didn't.
Right.
But watch
Right.
this. I didn't go to college, so I'm gonna talk down on everybody who went to college. We
Yeah.
look both ways.
Right.
We have to
Right.
understand that we're all important in this. And if we can't even do that, then we're in trouble. This is what I'm saying. Even where we are right now, we have to organize.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you see that I remember I heard a guy say this to me one time. He said, "There's a way a dude thinks that may not be in that may not went to college, but he has a street knowledge that is
Right.
beyond that he can see.
Yeah.
He can see everything versus the guy that went to college and he may have some tools to help understand something, but he can't see. He can't see.
Right.
So
Right.
I think we got to get to the point where, like you said, man, that everybody's important. But you know what else I think we all got to get to the point too? We got to apologize to each other as black
Yeah,
people.
man.
Like,
There we go.
I
There we
need
go.
to
Now, that's-
apologize to you as my brothers,
Yeah.
down to the basic things as black people.
Right.
From the lies that we have believed about each other,
Yes.
we got to apologize to each other. I think we got to start with forgiveness of ourselves, forgiving each other first. We don't need to go start forgiving nobody else. We need to forgive each other first. We need to admit like, yo, man, I've had bad thoughts about you because I was told something or because I had a situation that happened. And so because of that, I've always held resentment against my black brother that got the same problem as me. You feel what I'm saying? And I think we
Right.
got to have that. We got to start there. We got to start forgiving each other.
I like
And that may sound real kumbaya-ish, but I think that's a part of forgiving each other so that we can respect each other, like you were saying, Derek, and understanding like, yo, okay, we respect one another because I've forgiven you, you've forgiven me for the way I've seen you, because we've been told, oh, that dude ain't educated, so you can't listen to him. Or that dude is from this country, you can't listen to him. Or that dude is from this family, right? Don't pay attention to them. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly, bro,
I agree,
man. And we just got to make sure, man, we understand the humanity with each other, man, and have that real concern and care for each other, man. We got to start from right there, man. We got to start small, and like you say, man, it might sound kumbaya-ish, but that's what's up, man. And we got to agree on the basic things that we need in life, man. You know what I mean? That's education, spirituality, whatever, man. But we got to agree on how we're gonna start over, because we got to get rid of a lot of stuff, man. And this not even our country, man. This is a mess, man. This is a mess. And right now we watching more and more violence on our people and things like that, man. And we just need a fresh start on our own, man. And we need to just real small, man, like you say, just caring for each other, man. All the family getting together, having different things, having festivals and whatnot, and just coming as one, man.
At the same time, I think they're different, you know, kind of like Wakanda. They're different groups of us that can specialize and focus in different areas. You know what I'm saying? And like for example, politics. There's dysfunctional politics and there's functional politics.
What?
Right. So functional politics is simply, basically, you're operating in the realm of politics in a way that works for your people. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's functional politics. Now, dysfunctional politics is doing all this other stuff or whatever for the individual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't benefit us as a whole.
No.
So, we have people who are capable of being in positions that could benefit us as a whole, even
Right.
where we are right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that we have to be strategic in what we do, and we're not doing that. I'm gonna tell you right now, okay? If you want to solve part of solving the police problem, because it's not all police. We tend to say police, but it's really a group of individuals within the police departments that do the things that they do. It's not all of them. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys are great people. Some of these guys are under certain types of political pressure within the organization, but it's all cops are not like that dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing though. If we really wanted to do something about policing our neighborhoods, why is it that we have a culture that don't like the cops? Don't like the cops in general. You can be a police officer. You remember crack shot? You remember crack shot? Come on now. Did they respect crack shot? Didn't they respect crack shot? This is what I'm saying. The children respected crack shot. The older people respect him. If you want to make a difference in your community, listen, man, let me look. I got this right here in front of me, man. This is what I'm talking about. Because at a certain point, we have to take responsibility for the areas that we live in. The requirements of being a police officer: be at least 19 years old, 21 in some states, be a U.S. citizen, born or naturalized, at least a high school graduate, colleges for like FBI and CIA and all that, but you don't need that to be a regular police officer. You don't need no military experience. You need a valid driver's license, no felonies, good moral character, be in physical shape, and speak English. Come on, man. How many people we know got those qualifications right now? And all they gotta do is go to the academy, and they can police our neighborhoods.
Yeah. See, but I look at the police from a different angle than you, bro. Like, we had a dope house. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I see them as the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I don't. It's like I grew up not trusting the police with anything, man, because that was against the lifestyle that we was living. You know what I mean? And as a kid, I didn't know that what we were doing was wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? We just were trying to survive, man. Right. So when you see like these cops coming in, kicking in the door, you know what I'm saying, putting everybody on the ground, man, taking people, man, you really think they the bad guys. So it's big, man, when you're looking at things like that, D. That's why I don't like politics, bro. I don't like none of that, bro. Policing, like, how should we really, like, do we really need to get policed as humans? Like, do we need to get policed? We need a law system, though, some type of rules and regulation. I understand that, like police. I don't know. We just got to refigure things out, man. We got to redo this, man, and rethink things, man. Because you know what I mean? It's nasty right now, man. I just can't. I don't know, man. You can't pick and choose right now in America what you want, man. Because the whole thing is a casket, bro.
But, bro, you know, and I agree with you on that, man. Because it's like I agree with both of y'all on both ends, I agree with both of them. I agree. We got some good people that are right now getting a bad what's the word I'm looking for? They're getting a bad reputation because of a few, you know. But the reality is, it goes back to what you were saying, Dean. The system is messed up. The system allows for those bad apples to be there and get off scot-free. Like, the system is like that. Despite the fact the majority of people, I know a ton of great cops. I got friends that are cops. Like, great guys. Great. I mean, these are dudes, if they come up on you, they be the dudes that'll tell you, hey, man, put that out, man. I don't want you to get in trouble. Like, that's the kind of guys they are. They're the kind of guys that tell you, yo, hey, man, put that up, bro. Put that up real quick. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. But the problem is when you have the system set up in such a way that those that commit heinous, evil crimes, they get away with it. They get away with it, literally carte blanche, and we have what we have. So I agree with Dean on that point, that you have a system that you almost have to just do away with because it's so crazy that they could.
But what I'm telling you is, did we lose Dean?
I think it froze a little bit. He'll get back on. He'll get back
Okay.
on.
So, but what I'm saying is this: this system has been in place, and systems have been in place, good and bad, since the beginning.
Of course.
What I'm saying is when you have a group of people, not even a group of people, when you have a system, and let's just say America, we're talking 16, 19, we've been here over 400 years now. It's been 400 years now.
Right.
We have systems that have been put in place for 400 years.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And in spite of our praying, in spite of our everything that we've done, we're still a part of this system.
Right.
Now we're not in physical slavery. We're not in chains physically and things like that or whatever.
Right.
But what I'm saying is you're not going to change this system.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to do away with that. The best you can do is learn how to operate within it to the advantage of your people.
Right.
All right. Just like everybody else do, the LGBT community did the same thing.
Right.
They
Right.
were ostracized and they went through all this. And what did they do? They got into politics. they got buying power. They got political power and things like this or whatever. And now you can't touch them.
Yeah.
Why is it that we haven't organized to do the same things?
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because the only way that you're going to make any change is like to vote. I see Suna just mentioned that. You can vote,
Mm-hmm.
all right? But you can also become a part of the solution. If you have issues with police in your area, how about 10, 15, 20 of you guys become cops?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you have issues with this, with certain political things that happen, how about we stop complaining and let's be solution focused and let's start getting involved in politics.
Agreed.
Whether you are bringing awareness so that people can vote and know what they're doing, know who they're voting for and what they're voting about,
Mm-hmm.
or you can be in office in local politics in office yourself. You can be a commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
You can be, you know what I'm saying? You can be a manager, or you can be a mayor. You can be a city manager. You can be a mayor.
Right.
You can be a city attorney. Things like this. If we're going to change the muck, this is what I'm saying. We need
Right.
more people getting involved so that we see each other. Black, white, it doesn't matter. If you're from the muck, you're from the muck, and it is what it is.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
I'm just saying, if we want to change it, these are the things that we have to do. We have to put down all of our negative ideations about police officers, about politics and things like that, because politics is here to stay.
Yeah.
And law enforcement is here to stay.
Yeah.
Law enforcement is never going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Politics is never going to go anywhere. Politics has existed since the beginning of mankind.
Bro,
It's just different types of politics. And it benefited one group. You know what I'm saying? In some places, it benefited the group. Like our people in ancient Africa, it benefited the group.
Mm-hmm.
And then it can be corrupted as well. Any
Right.
tool can be used for good or bad. It's how you choose to use the tool.
I'm about to show y'all a book. This book right here is by
Dr. Claude Anderson.
It's called Powernomics. It's a powerful, easy read. I suggest everybody that gets a chance go pick this book up. It's an easy read. It's not a hard. It's not. He's not deep. He's an education guy, but he keeps it real simple. And let me tell y'all something. It is everything you're saying, Derek. He breaks it down. He breaks it down to the gristle, literally.
Right.
He breaks it down to the gristle. I know some people are probably out. I'm gonna show it again. So for those that didn't catch it, he wrote this book. Believe it or not, he wrote this book in 2004. He wrote this in 2000, and he said, you see what it says? The National Plan to Empower Black America.
wow.
So
Wow.
he has steps in here that he wrote about almost 20 years ago to give us a plan how to do, and a lot of things that you're saying, a lot of things that we're saying, he says in here. He says, first of all, we got to own our own money. We got to own our own money. We got to buy from each other. That's the first thing. We can't buy from nobody else. We only can buy from ourselves. Once we've developed that capital, then he explains, now you got to start buying the politicians. If you can't buy them, you need to rent them.
Yeah.
Right? That's what he says. And then he says, then you got to start buying the police. You got to buy the police. He said that's how every other community does it. You know, because he gives the example of the Chinese, of the Jewish people. You never hear about the police bothering them.
Right.
Why? Because they have bought the police. Now I know I'm dropping. I know there's some people that might hear this might be like, whoa, wait a minute, bro. What you saying, Marana? Whoa. What you talking about buying? Yeah, he says buy the police, buy politicians. They gotta be in your pocket. Wherever, if they gotta know that they're only in power because you put them there, and they will not be in power because you'll take them out. And that's how we speak to what you're saying, Derek. We got to get to the point where we're no longer wanting something for nothing. Like we no longer thinking, well, he black, he understand. No, he's working for the people that put him there. Like whoever put him there, whoever paid for his campaign, whoever got him all the votes, that's who he working for. That's who she's working for, right? Yeah. And so if we start to understand that concept, then it's the same. Listen, Alvin, let's look at it like this. It's like the drug game, right? I only do work for the man. I only owe loyalty to the man that's giving me money. That's it. I don't owe no loyalty to nobody that ain't giving me no money. If you shorting me money, that means you're not loyal to me. So I can't trust you. So I think we got to get to the point as black people that we stop assuming that because we got the same skin that we're the same kin. We not.
Right.
Look, bro, that's gonna be hard. Again, American construct, bro. It's always gonna bring its rules on you, bro. And like you said, the dope game. The dope game, you can't trust nobody, man. Everybody criminals, man. Everybody, how you gonna trust a criminal? So now, okay, what you told me the bullet point was for that book, that sound like the bullet point to a better mob or something. You want to have a better organized gang? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mo, know what that sounded like, Mo? So, bro, I ain't with none of this, Mo. All this stuff sounds deadly. It sounds barbaric. It sounds thuggish.
I agree.
Same construct.
I agree.
You have to. One thing we have to do. We have to look at life itself and say we have to start with life itself, the simple things in life itself, and build from there, man. Whatever that is, but we have to come together and talk about it, and that's it, man. But if you bring in politics and all that in it, man, bro, it's gonna stay nasty.
I agree, man. Because literally when I read it, I was like, somebody sound like some old gangster, like mob. But then.
This is what everybody has been doing while we've been playing football and watching reality shows.
Yeah.
This is what everybody else been doing.
Yeah.
So once again, certain things you can't put on other people who've been applying themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Certain things you got to take responsibility for. And that's what I'm saying. I'm one person. We're a few people. We can't, you know what I'm saying? We can't rid this world of the systems that are in it, but we can get in and we can find ways to unify and organize so that we can kind of, you know, facilitate some type of change locally where we are on the Muck. You know what I'm saying? I can't deal with the nation right now. I'm stuck on the Muck. I can't see myself going out and making a difference somewhere else or trying to make a difference somewhere else or some other state somewhere.
Yeah.
And we got the Muck right here. So that's what we are. We stayed at the Muck. So all things Muck. My thing is, how do we change where we are? You know what I'm saying? And that could be a blueprint for somebody else to replicate what we do wherever they are. Because I'm sure they got people just like us. Yeah. You know, we're talking about these issues and things like that. And maybe they don't know exactly what to do. Or maybe they just need a blueprint or something like that or whatever. What steps did these guys take? What steps did these people take to turn things around in their cities, in their tri-city area? Right. That's what I'm most concerned about. I ain't concerned about all the other stuff. What do we do locally? Right. Because I'm telling you, even when it comes down to the qualifications for, you know, these local political positions and things like that, it ain't rocket science, bro. None of this stuff is, and most of us qualify to run for those offices to get that kind of change. Yeah. And this, bro, I did my research on this, bro. City commissioners, you can get in that seat and then be trained on how to be a city commissioner.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to know everything.
No.
You just have to be a popular enough person locally to be voted into that seat. Yeah. And then from there, you get trained on how to do what. Now, you use your heart. You're going to learn stuff with your head or whatever, but at the end of the day, you You got to use your heart.
Yeah.
As in that seat, and that's what we need. We need some people doing that. That ain't for everybody though. That ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. We have to respect one another. I don't throw anything away. I don't
Right.
say, you know what I'm saying, these people are not important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's important in this, and we need people getting in there and doing things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We need that locally. I ain't talking about nowhere else but Pahokee, Belgrade, and South Bay.
Yeah.
Locally, we need people in the seats that are gonna listen to their citizens and find out what their citizens need, because that's their job. Their job is to connect with the citizens, to find out what the citizens' needs are. And then you go back to your higher ups and say, listen, this is what our citizens need.
Mm-hmm.
This is what our town needs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And to be transparent about it, like, let us know what the plans are for Pahokee, Belgrade, and South Bay. And let us know where we come in that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make plans without us. We're a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to affect us. So this is what I'm saying. We need all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't throwing nothing away, bro.
But you know what? But you know what though? I'm a tag on. I'm a piggyback on what you're saying. We got to get to the point where we also got to understand who the powers that be are here.
See, that's where I'm at. Yes.
We got to understand who the powers that be are, and then we have to understand how do we leverage our power. How do we leverage our power to those powers, right? Because that's the world. That's the world we live in. We live in a world of checks and balances. We live in a even in the spiritual. You have all these different types of forces, right? So we have to understand, how do we leverage our power? How do we leverage our know-how? Like you're saying, Derek, how do we do that? But I also believe we got to get down to the nit and the grit of understanding that everybody in this conversation is so important, even down to the person even down to the guy that's on the street begging. He is important in the conversation, because if we don't think about him, right, then we done missed it, right? Even that person, right? They're important in that conversation. So we got to understand. So like, we got to get to the point we say, all right, okay, what is our objective? What is the objective here? And I think that's how we got to start looking at this thing. Like, what is our objective? And then, and make the objective clear. Make the objective so clear. Because I think in Belgrade and South Bay, we got to stop making the objective about just being comfortable.
Right.
Because I think too many times we just be like, man, I just want to have a job. I just want to be able to feed my family. That's too broad. That's too broad because they're going to be like, you can go work at the sugar mill then.
Right, man.
They're going to be like, or you can just go. No, it got to be more specific. It got to be more like, these are our concerns. Bam, 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 bam. However many they are. And then we say, this is what we want, and this is how we going to get it. Now, you can be on board with us to get it, or we will vote you. If it's talking to politicians, we will vote you out, right? And then, if it ain't politicians, if it's business people, we just tell them, if you don't want to rock with us, we just not going to patronize your business anymore. We just got to be at that level. We just got to be able to say that.
Right.
And that's politics. That's what I'm saying. That's functional politics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're doing this, but you're doing it for the benefit of your people.
Yeah.
And it ain't a black and white thing. It's a Pahokee, Belgrade, South Bay.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's blue, polka dot, purple, green, orange. It's for anybody living in Pahokee, Belgrade, and South Bay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, that's political pressure. Even this podcast, what we're doing right now, is political pressure.
Right.
This is politics. What we doing?
Yeah.
You see
that's
what I'm
true.
saying?
That's true.
So
see what I'm going to touch on, bro. Go ahead. Hey, you said the functional politics. You know what I'm saying? It's functional politics in the dope game too. It's functional politics in football. It's functional politics everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. Is it fair? Is it humane? You know what I'm saying? So we got functional politics right now in America. It's just not humane, bro. Like,
so that's dysfunctional politics.
Huh?
That's dysfunctional politics because.
Listen, see, here you go with the English language. See that's what, hey, King Dean, listen, man, and Voodoo King, I breathe outside of the American squad, bro. You gonna stay in that casket, bro. You know what I mean? You're gonna fall back down on you. Everything you do in this country, bro. Because every time every subject we talk about, I can just see it. And it's a mess, bro, because you're gonna fall right back into it, bro. And the only way we can is to change our nation, man, and the rules, because it's a corporation. You have to completely get away from the whole works.
Okay, so how?
Hey, just change the nation. Like right now, we the Empire of Morocco. You know what I'm saying? We really the Empire of Morocco. We Moors. If we
All
just,
of us?
huh?
All of us are Moors?
Yeah, should be. Blacks.
Every single one.
Huh?
All of us are. I'm saying all of us are.
All of us are Americans, right?
Are you saying all of us are Moors?
No, not the. See, the whites are the immigrants, bro. The whites are the immigrants. You talking about Native Americans, African Americans? We are the real indigenous people. You know what I mean? It's the Empire of Morocco. So if we just switch over, and just have a nation. But right now we can't get no reparation or anything because we're black or African American. That's not a nation, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I understand what you're saying with the politics in America, bro. But I'm coming from some different, and I know it stink, bro. It stink. Look at the casinos, bro. Look at basketball. Look at any like politics is in everything right now, even in high school football.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's everywhere, bro. It's in little league football, bro. It's a mess. Everything that operates in America, bro, is based on money. You know what I'm saying? Marketing, this and that, though, man. Everything's a business, bro. And now you gotta understand, the businessman in America is the real thug, bro. These are the real thugs. These are the real thugs, bro. And like trust these suits and different things, bro. Bro, it's deadly, bro.
Deadly.
It's deadly, bro.
Deadly.
You know what I'm saying? Then it's confusing. Then okay, let me talk about propaganda. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna raise our kids up on this thing, what they see on TV through movies. Then you go to public school. What do public school teach kids? From what I see, okay, how to be an employee and how to be a consumer.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
They don't teach public school. Don't teach how to be a CEO.
They don't teach you how to be an entrepreneur.
Right, exactly, man. That's just my whole thing, man. We have to
think
our whole.
But Dean, I agree with you. But here's what Derek trying to say. I get what you're saying. I agree. I understand 100% what you're saying because you're saying the whole system is messed up. It's all messed up. And literally, what Derek is saying though, Derek is like, yo, we understand the system is messed up, but we got to try to make it work to our advantage so we can get to the nation part you're talking about, right? Oh. But the thing about it is, it's finding that balance. It's finding that balance because the crazy thing is, what Dean is saying, I agree with it. I lean a little bit more towards what Dean is saying because it always leads you. It's like that fly getting led to that fire. It's like it starts off as warming you up. It warms you up, and you're like, okay, I'm getting warmed here. And the next thing you know, you're in the middle of the fire, burning up because it's consumed you. So I get it, and I think that's where Dean is at. Dean is like, yeah, you can use it, but it's shown like the system has shown itself in every way that if you're not a cutthroat, evil, maniacal person, you know what I'm saying, you will not survive in this system, right?
With that, because I see too many examples of people who do, and that's what I'm saying. It's not. See what we're doing is what we accuse other people of doing, and it's crazy that we do this. Mm-hmm. Once again, instead of turning the responsibility inward, we're pushing it outward, and we're saying it's that and that right there. Mm-hmm. And now that may be true to a certain extent. But my question is, at what point do we start taking responsibility and start governing ourselves? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's not, the system is not the problem for every issue we have. It's not, bro. And I'm saying it's just a tool. Like, for example, go ahead.
How are we gonna govern ourselves in this up on this government, bro? How, like, look at our people, look at the history. Like, how can we do anything here, bro? Like, okay, look at Black Wall Street. We got history of just black owned things getting bombed and getting taken over. Like we can't do it, bro. We okay, I don't want to build something, bro. When they come get to it. You know what I'm saying? And they breaking our hearts again, this and that, though, bro. Yeah. I want it to be to the point where we know that we secure and this is our own. And I don't really know. I mean, I'm just this imagination, bro.
No, yeah.
Talking about this and it's tough. It's tough because I'm thinking about this. It's tough. You know what I'm saying? But we operating up under the American construct. We always got to answer to these certain people. You know what I'm saying? And whoever the power may be. That's all I'm saying,
Right.
bro. Especially when you're talking about like rebuilding the nation.
So Black Wall Street, we know all about Black Wall Street and all the great things that they were able to do. Excuse me. All right,
Yeah.
but there's one thing that they did not do. And there's a particular thing that it kind of points to the idea that they thought that if we leave them alone, they'll leave us alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They accumulated all of that wealth. They were doctors, lawyers. We already know the story. But what I'm saying is, they weren't prepared to be. They weren't prepared to defend what they had. You know what I'm saying? And so this is what I'm saying.
They didn't the army in their own country, bro. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy.
But they weren't prepared to deal. They weren't prepared to defend what they had. Now,
No.
I put $10 million in your house right now.
Yeah.
I guarantee you're gonna be strapped.
But check it out. You know who bombed Black Wall Street? America. Like they use our fighter jets. They use our. You know what I'm saying? It was our military, bro. Yeah. Like okay, Wakanda don't really exist, bro. We can't call Black Panther to come help us, bro. Like they don't exist. You know what I'm saying? So they use, you know what I'm saying? They fighter jets in the system to bomb some innocent people, and it's ridiculous, D. And it's like, bro, I understand where you're coming from, bro. And you got the little smile, bro. And
listen, bro.
No, talk, man, talk.
But bro, I just want something fresh, bro. Everything stink, bro. I'm tired of that smell, bro.
I don't know how that's going on.
Let's do it. Let's okay. I love in my life right now for us to experiment with another type of civilization somewhere. We just start up. You know what I'm saying? That'd be beautiful, man. But right now, man, this stuff is come on. It's killing black people, man.
And you know what? And see, that's what I'm about to say. And I think, Derek, I understand what you're saying. It's like we got to look within. But I think we have looked within. But I think what's happened is every time we look within and we decide to say, all right, we're going to take responsibility, there they are, peeking through the window. You taking responsibility? Wait a minute now. What y'all doing in there? Wait, hey, stop. Hey.
Wait. We can go back. Listen, we can go back over 500 years.
Uh-huh.
We can go back over 500 years. I'm gonna tell you. We can go back over 500 years.
Right.
Watch this. No. Because we're doing the same thing today that we did back then.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no people just come in and take your stuff.
No.
Right?
No, I agree.
Listen, our people help those people.
I agree.
Do what they did.
I agree with
just
that.
like today.
I agree
our people are helping continue to create the narrative that we can't do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, I agree.
Our people who are handing us over, bro.
I agree.
And granted, that doesn't take responsibility away from the other people who are a part of it. But what I'm saying is, Judas is a representation of traitors within a particular culture. And that's what we always have had, and that's what we have to this day, bro. Mm-hmm. The problem is, we're going to always have people that are among us, that look like us, that are going to betray us. And that's the problem. Harriet Tubman had to carry a gun on her and be ready to blast somebody for trying to turn around and go back because she knew they would tell on her.
Yeah.
And the whole Underground Railroad would be destroyed because one scary joker turned around and went back and told everything. Yeah. So she had to carry a gun on her because she was ready to kill. If you turned around, you died. That was her thing. Yeah. Because we've always had these people among us, bro.
Yeah.
And it's sad that somebody has to do that to get you free. But she had to do that to get people free.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, I feel you, D. But this one I'm at with this right here, bro. Who was here before Christopher Columbus came? I can't even call his name. Who was here?
Indigenous black.
So
indigenous black people.
Yeah, so now we got to find out who was here before Europeans came, but it sounds like to me the Europeans are immigrants, bro. They're true immigrants. You know what I'm saying? This is not really, and we playing by their rules, bro. How we playing by you guys' rules? And this is our house. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things we have to revisit and redo and talk about with history because a lot of things been covered up, man. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get to the bottom of it. I just started hearing about the Empire of Morocco, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just started hearing about it, man. Chris Joseph, a lot of guys who I know, they on that, you know what I mean? So they been educating me on it. So it was like, man, I like that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a fresh start. And then it's a nation.
here's the thing though, and this is what I'm gonna encourage because I know we learn a lot of things from a lot of different places. I'm gonna say this: we can't all be Moroccan because Morocco is just a small. Look how big Africa is, bro. Some of us, you know what I'm saying, are Nigerian. Some of us,
Yeah.
our
Yeah,
roots
that's
are, you know
big
what I'm
country,
saying.
bro.
We can't all claim Morocco. That's what
Right,
I'm saying.
right,
And
right.
we don't have a system that can clearly identify you and me as
But,
Moroccan. All we
but bro,
got. Go ahead.
we have to do our research, man. And God just started telling me about it. You know what I'm saying? Just look at it. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. And what I'm see the thing is what I'm saying from a lot of people, even like with religion, they scared to even check the other sources or find out anything else. It seems
Right.
like they scared to come off this thing that this myth they've been on all their life, and they feel like something's gonna happen. It's like you have to go open your mind and go check information, man. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
And
that's
watch
what
this.
it is. It's
And the
like,
crazy thing is, when you go back and you look at all the different, you can look at the paintings, you can look at the Christopher Columbus stuff, you can look at all these Europeans on the boat. Guess who was right there with him, showing him the way? Them was
bro,
Moors. Them was
bro,
Moors.
bro,
Them was Moors showing them the way.
they know
I
they're gonna
see
kill
what
him.
they did to us,
They
bro.
go, hey, bro, Moors went and took the Europeans out of the Dark Ages, bro.
Yeah.
Talk,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, bro? Talking about it, you know what I mean? You be civilized and that type of stuff. That's just a good. See, that's me, bro. I got a good heart. You know what I'm saying? You dirty and stuff, man. I'm teaching you. I don't know you stink, man. I'm gonna show you how it goes. You gonna be fine, but I'm look back thinking that when I give you some soup and some food that you gonna stab me in the back, bro.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
And you know,
It's
but
a lot of history, man, that we gotta revisit.
you know what, Dean? I think the other part about it too is though, and this what I'm about to say is gonna be tough though, but I
Go ahead,
think
bro.
I love this.
we got to get to the
For my,
point.
for my
You
Gatorade.
pour your get. I think we got to get to the point as people like we're talking, you know, black folk. Um, uh, we got to get to the point where we as black people got to understand, not just black people, mostly us black people, but we got to get to the point where we say, yo, how much are we willing to die for what we believe in?
Right.
Right?
We're going
Are we willing to go all the way down? Are we willing to lay it all down? And I
yeah.
think we haven't gotten to the point where we're ready to lay it all down. So that's why I think a lot of times, and we're always looking for it to seem like something that's not going to require real bloodshed.
Yeah, man.
And I say that I know that sounds rough as it relates to Belgrade. I know that sounds kind of tough. I know that, but go follow me, because the
Yeah.
reality is there's some things that if you want them, it does cost. It does
Yeah.
cost a lot, and I think we got to get to the point where we realize that what we're talking about for our community will cost us. It will cost
Yes.
a lot. It will cost the way we've always thought. It will cost sometimes even what we've always wanted, right? Just so those that are coming behind us will have it, right? Because that's
Right.
what it matters.
Yeah.
Like we got to be willing to say, like there's some things I've said. I already know I'm building it, so my son ain't got to worry about it. My grandson ain't got to worry about it, right? I'm not going
Yeah.
to. I am not going to partake in it. You feel what I'm saying? I think we got to get to that point where we say, all right, I'm okay with knowing that I may not be able to partake in what I'm building, but somebody else that I know, I got enough joy in the fact that I know my grandson, my great grandson will be able to enjoy this. Will be able to say, man, my granddad built this. My
Yeah.
granddad left this for me. And I teach my son to teach my grandson that, hey, you need to appreciate what your granddad did for you. You need to
Yeah.
appreciate what your great grandfather did for you. And I think
Yeah.
that right there has to be a part of what we're talking about too. Because we got to get to the point where we say, all right, we go do this. But as we're having this conversation, we got to be willing to say, maybe we may not experience this in our generation. That's okay.
Yeah.
But that the generation behind us will experience it, and they'll be able to say, man, there were these brothers, they started a conversation, and because they started this conversation, it led to this, that, and the third, and now we're reaping the benefits of this right now.
Right. Right. Right.
At the end of the day, regardless of whatever you know or don't know, this still stands. If what you know or don't know, or what you do or don't do, if it cannot be used as a tool for your growth, for your development, for your liberation, and that for your people, then it is worthless. Your
Mm.
job, if your job cannot be used for your growth and development and for that of your people, then it's worthless.
Mm.
The thing is,
Mm.
everything is a tool.
Mm.
Our knowledge is a tool.
Yeah.
Our jobs are a tool. Our duties are tools
Mm.
that can be used to benefit our people or to hurt our people, no
Right.
matter what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If a certain group of us choose to go this way, we should have a purpose in that.
Yeah.
Can this way that we're going lead to growth, development, and liberation for us, at least our group? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can it be used for that? Yes or no? Because if we can't do that, if we can't answer that question the right way, then it doesn't matter what we know, or it doesn't matter what we're doing, because it still cannot be used as a tool for liberation, for growth, and the development of our people.
Mm.
Now, this is where I turn it inwards to us,
Mm-hmm.
because Dean, me and you talked about this.
Yeah.
The difference between surviving and the difference between thriving. There's a stark difference between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What we have been doing is surviving.
Mm-hmm.
We have survived slavery, all right? We have survived Jim Crow.
Mm.
We have survived all kind of oppression, even up to this day. As a people, we have survived.
Yeah.
All right. Survive means that you still exist. We're still here. We are supposed to be thriving,
Mm-hmm.
which means you're growing and you're developing. If the same thing that got your people back then is getting your people now, that's a sign that your people have not grown or developed.
True.
Your people
True.
cannot organize. Your people cannot govern themselves. You see what I'm saying? We can know all of this. Even if we did say, okay, let's do this nation thing or whatever, with them rocking thing or whatever. If we as a people, after doing that, still can't come together and organize, we right back in the same spot where we are right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's been the Achilles heel of our people. We've been surviving instead of thriving.
Right.
Grow and develop, so that what got your people, you learned your lesson from history. That's why we go back. We go back to see where they messed up, and we make sure we don't make the same mistakes that they made.
Exactly.
You know
Exactly.
So we need to focus on our development and our growth before we do anything, because it's pointless. It's like starting a company and nobody know what their roles are. Nobody even know nothing about the company. We just got one. You know what I'm saying? We're not going anywhere. We got a company. Y'all check out our company. We live over here.
Right.
None of us know nothing.
Right.
So we have to put the puzzle pieces together.
Right.
And we have to look at ourselves and say, where are our deficiencies? What got the people before us? Or what led to the Muck being the way that it is right now? You know what I'm saying? Why aren't we flourishing? And we need to answer those questions and say, okay, what can we do as individuals and collectively about turning things around on the Muck where we are? And I think our growth and development, that's where our growth and development comes in at, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel you on that, bro.
And I think that's powerful right there, bro, what you're saying, because I think we got it. But you know what, though, man? At the end of the day, there's so many things that we as black people or people that are living in this area, just all over the country, we're daily having to deal with. We're daily having to come to grips with about ourselves and stuff like that. And I think sometimes you just start to just, I ain't gonna lie. I know there's some days I just like, man, sometimes I feel like, man, I feel overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I either need to do or the amount of stuff I got to start cutting out of my system just to be at a place to help other people, to be at a place, like you said, Derek, to be to be able to benefit everybody else. And sometimes that junk can overwhelm you. You just feel like you just be like, man, can I really? And I think that goes back to what you were saying, it's just one day at a time, taking it step by step, finding those things and just saying, okay, this is how we deal with that. But at the end of the day, man, it does feel like a lot that we gotta do.
It's a lot
because we do. It's right there in the fabric. It's right there in the fabric of this society, bro.
Yeah.
And every single thing in this country, bro, is gonna target us, bro. Every single thing, bro, is gonna take it out straight to our DNA, bro.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we can try to like be Superman over. Man, listen, man, it's not gonna get better. It's never gonna get better, bro. Never. Like Paul said, man, it'll never be peace, man. It'll never be peace.
Oh, I agree with that.
Because the whole society is a conflict itself.
Yeah.
Everything is conflicted, bro.
Yeah.
Everything, bro. And you have to truly like step outside and say what's truly important as a human being that we truly need to live by. Like, what is it? Like what? Like what? Like values. Like, what do we value? What is art? What is music? So we have to rethink culture and this type of stuff and just really go from there, man. Because I don't trust anything that's coming from the American country right now, bro. Anything. Everything, bro.
I mean, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there. I know we ain't touched on it, but I'm gonna just go there because let's just talk about it. The elephant in this country right now. What happened to homeboy down up in
George Floyd
in Minneapolis? You know,
come on,
and I hate to bring it up, but we got to. We got to, because that's a part of what you just said, Dean. It's like that junk. It tug at you, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like yesterday, I was on my social media and I didn't even watch the videos. I don't watch them videos no more, right? I just saw the picture, and the junk started to affect me to the point, bruh, where I was like, "Come on, bruh, stop being soft." Like I literally was telling myself, "Man, stop being soft, man. Chill out, bruh. It ain't that serious." And then literally something was like, "Mo, what are you like inside of me?" Like I'm having this battle within me, and my body's like, one thing is like, "Bruh, you should be pissed the hell off about this right now." And then there's something else in me is like, "Come on, man, don't even think about it. Don't even." And then something else in me like, "Bruh, you should be thinking about it. That's you. That could be you. That could be your cousin. That could be any of your homeboys right there." And literally, man, I literally had to mourn. I don't even know the dude. I had to mourn for him. I literally took a day. I just took my day yesterday and I mourned that brother's death. I don't even know the dude, but I mourned his death because we've been taught, like you said, Dean, act like we Superman. Like the junk don't affect us, you know?
And that's what we have, psychological and mental health issues in this country, bro. We really do. You know what I'm saying? And we need to focus on the invisible, man. You know what I'm saying? People, we have real psychological conditions and psychological programming through this country, and even with kids with public schooling, you go through school with all A's, you this, you that. So then when school's over, you still feel like what? You don't feel like nothing. So it's like, bro, we need to rethink this stuff, bro.
Got to.
We really rethink what's truly going on in this country, man. And bro, ain't nothing here in this country, bro, is good right now, bro.
Nothing.
It's bad, bro.
Bad.
Anything that comes up, bro, question. Anything.
Everything.
No matter what.
And you know what? Nothing's wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with questioning everything. And I think that's how we get to the answers that we need. We need to ask the right questions, though. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the trick. The trick is to ask the right questions. Yeah. Because ultimately, like you said, we do have a mental health problem. So why do we have a mental health problem? We went through a lot of things in this country, and one of the things that we are used to doing is not really getting help for our issues. A lot of us don't see therapists, even therapists that look like us. We don't want to see therapists because we were taught to hide our dysfunction. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, are we gonna start getting the help that we need? So think about this. We're in a race right now, right? We're in a race, and you got all of these different nations that are part of this race. All right, and of course, some of them have their issues, but we know how severe our situation was as a people. Mm-hmm. Now imagine getting in the blocks for this race, and they shooting the gun off. Everybody come out of the blocks, but your leg is broken. Mm. That's us. Mm. You cannot compete if you are not healed. Yeah. You can't compete. You racing with a broken leg. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we are. We have to keep healing within ourselves, bro.
Mm. Yeah, bro. But see, if you got a broken leg, that's a visible injury. You know what I'm saying? The sickness that we have is invisible. It's psychological. It's in our subconscious. You know what I'm saying? And we program, bro. Like people really just losing it right now, just on basic things, bro. And they need people to help them understand just the basic reality of life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where I want to come in at. I want to help people do that because that little therapist and you learning all this different stuff in that classroom is not going to help you, bro. It's life experiences.
See,
I don't been through so much, bro. I'm so dark, deep down, but I brought myself back even, bro. Because you have to really truly check yourself, bro. And I always search for myself. That was the only way to come out of that, bro. And I see it's people like that now, and it's like denial and different stuff like that, bro. And it's sick, bro. It's sick, man. Because people have too much to take their minds away from reality.
But I'll say this though. And I've had my dark times. My dark times were in high school. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, you know, I really didn't have a therapist or anything like that or whatever. I went to see a therapist when I got older. And I'll say this. And we this is something that we always. This is what makes it so difficult. We always have to be mindful of the fact that what worked for us does not necessarily apply to everybody. Everybody has a different way. If you were able, you see, everybody is not like you, and they can psychoanalyze themselves and figure out what's going on within themselves. And some people live their whole life never knowing what their dysfunction was, right? So I would say I can't throw out the therapist because they're needed for some people. They might not be needed for you, but they're needed for some people. And I think sometimes we think that what worked for us applies to everybody. It don't work that way. So we have to be mindful of the fact that there are a million different ways, and we talk about infinite possibilities, right? So there are many different ways for people to come to the same place in your life that you've come to without the same route that you took. So when I say, like, you speaking from the perspective of, you know, my experience has taught me. Another person can speak from the perspective of, you know, I went to a therapist, and you know what I'm saying? But the goal is to come out healed. So I could compete. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I use that race thing, that was metaphor. That was a analogy to represent our situation internally. We're handicapped people. We're broken people trying to compete, and you can't win. You know what I'm saying? We got two broken legs, black eye, one of the eye closed, the other one halfway closed. Got a knot on the side of the head. We dizzy, and we still trying to run. And that's our situation. So the thing is, this is why I say we need to stop. Because the only way you're going to get healed is if you stop running, sit down somewhere, get your healing, and when you've recuperated, then you can go out there and compete. It's all within ourselves. We have to go back to ourselves.
I'm gonna say this: how do we how do we trust a country that put us in slavery, gave us all Christianity? I mean, just messed us up. You know what I'm saying? But every time we try to do anything, it was a mess, bro. It's always a mess. But they break treaties. It's always something, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we can't sit here and do certain things with America again, bro. We can't afford that, bro. We can't. It's getting worse, bro. It's getting worse. Like public schools is getting worse. Like they dumbing down society, bro. Everything's dumbed down, bro. And right now, bro, it's like let's just understand that whatever is in American country, is in the casket of tombstone lights out, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
It's like no matter what you do, you got your box in. See, I operate on the outside, and I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm like, whoa, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm psychological because you can only take care of yourself. You can say can't nobody save you. See, but America have you thinking that Jesus is coming or whatnot. This and that. You all got to look outside yourself or hurt. So a therapy seems a logical thing to do, but to me it's crazy. You can only save yourself, man. Now, know what I'm saying? Unless you got a close friend or somebody that understand, but you have to really check yourself and understand what you're really checking, what you're really looking for within you. You know what I'm saying? Like some people just sit there, but what are you thinking about? What are you digging for? Like, do you know your emotions? Like, do you understand the cosmology of your body and all that type of stuff? Like, we have to really break it down to the bottom of humanity and teach everybody from the bottom, man. That's the only way. But in America, bro, you know where it deep.
That's good.
You know where it deep.
But you know what, though? Honestly, man, when I watched the whole video. I watched the whole thing. And
bro, you better than me.
I'll say this. No, I had to, because you know sometimes like I had to, and I didn't like what I was seeing, of course, but I
Mm-hmm.
had to watch it, just like I've had to watch all of the others, just like I've had to sit as a freshman in college and listen to a white man give me the blood raw like history on you know what I'm saying, on African American history. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And this is a white man teaching me.
Mm.
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And he didn't hold back. He taught it raw. And like I
yeah,
said, I was angry after every class. I was angry, but at the same time, I felt the need to be an ambassador for my people. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Because war and all that other stuff, I get it. You know, I understand all of that, whatever. But there are other things that we can do. We don't necessarily have to take that route. Now, I believe in standing up for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Things like that or whatever, because that's how you get respect. But at the same time, you know, there's a way to do this because I'm gonna tell you right now, it's been attempted. You know, we've done this thing about going back to Africa. You know, you don't fit in there either. You know what I'm saying? And guess what?
Oh,
They
you
over
can't
there
go
waiting
to
on you
Africa
too.
and be America.
Huh? Say what?
I say, I say a lot of people go to Africa and expect it to be America. It's Africa. You gotta adjust. People go there with the wrong intentions. You know what I'm saying? They go there expecting American things. No, you gotta go there completely expecting the unexpected of the culture. You should have been on research the culture and everything, man, before you did. You know what I'm saying?
That
But,
language.
huh? Go ahead, bro.
It's kind of like Killmonger. Like even
Yeah,
though Killmonger was, I believe Killmonger was right in his intentions, but I
yeah,
think that he went wrong in terms of not respecting their way of life.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And this has been a, this is it's crazy that this has been attempted on a numerous times. You can't like
You
be in
understand
around.
Killmonger angry? You understand Killmonger angry? You understand why Killmonger was angry though, right?
I understand why he was angry.
Well, then, yeah,
I understand why he was angry. But what I'm saying is, it's like you can't live in a country for 40 years and somehow wipe yourself completely clean like a baby of everything that you've ever learned for 40 years. You coming over there like a baby.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have ideologies. You're gonna have all kinds of things that you got while you were here for 40 years. Then you
and I
go
agree.
to Africa. You're gonna take those with you, and
Right, I
you know
agree.
those are not necessarily gonna serve you well on that side. You can't practice something for 40 years and wipe yourself clean of it. You, I don't,
And
I,
I and I agree. So we need something like the Indian reservations or something right now. We need something like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? We just need our own. You know what I'm saying? And you're right, man. You just can't just. It's been 40 years, man. I can't just change who I am. You know what I'm saying? But I'm willing to adapt though, because it's certain freedoms and certain ways of living that I learned to understand that I adore and that is worthwhile. You know what I'm saying? Because that's true freedom. You know what I'm saying? And
I
I want people. Go ahead, bro.
no, I'm about to say I would tell you this much. I've been to Africa, and I went to Nigeria about 5 or 6, about 7, 8 years ago. And when I went, the lie I thought they told me that there was gonna be rejection of me, right?
mhm.
Right? It was a lie. I got over there. The first question everybody kept asking me, they were like, "Are you Igbo or are you Yoruba?" Matter of fact, one lady told me, she was like, "You're Yoruba, huh?" That was the first thing she didn't say, "You American?" No, she just said, "You must be Yoruba." That's
Yeah,
one of the major. That's one of the major tribes in
Yeah,
Nigeria, right?
yeah,
She didn't ask me. She didn't say to me. She didn't look at me and say, "Oh, you look like you're from America." No, she just said. First thing she said to me was, "Yo, you look Yoruba, right? Because you look like a Yoruba. You look like a Yoruba guy that I know, right?"
she looked at your phenotype.
So the thing about it was, because we've been here in America, we've been told these crazy. To go back to what you were saying, Dean, that we've been told these lies about these things, right? But
right.
at the same time, though, we've been taught that for some reason, if we go to certain places, if we're gonna feel out of place, we're gonna feel all these different things. It's a lie. We're not like we would like I'm my family. Like I told you, my family's originally from Haiti, and from the time I was 10, my dad would take me to Haiti. He took the first time I went to Haiti, I was 10, And bruh, the first time I went, I fell in love. Bruh, for the first time in my life, I swam in a river. I swam in a river for the first time in my life, right? And I was like, this is how y'all live? I said, I can live like this every day. And I was 10. And so, and so I say all that to say is that we as black people, we don't understand that our indigenousness applies to anywhere on this planet.
Yes.
Okay.
We literally can go anywhere on this planet and be all right.
Yes, man.
And because we are the people of this planet. We are the people of this planet. So we can go from Antarctica all the way down to Australia. We can go there, we'll be fine. Now, let's go back, let's pull it back. Now, let's pull it back to what we just were talking about with this whole situation with this dude, with this police killer. Now what we see where there's an attack on us, and the question needs to be, why is there an attack on us? If what you just said was true, Derek, you don't need to attack us no more. If our legs are broken, right? If we got a busted eye, right? We got a knot on our head. Why y'all still bothering with us? Why y'all still?
I'm gonna tell you the same reason why our population has been around the same range, 15% and under, since the beginning. It's the same thing. It's maintenance. They're not trying to kill all of us. It's a maintenance thing, bro. Ain't nobody trying to kill all of you. They need you.
Yeah.
You know, for now.
Bro, I just hate that. I hate the way you put that this day.
Go ahead, bro.
Maintenance on bro. Hey, what was you talking about, bro? Hey, bro, like, bruh, no, man.
Come on, man. Talk to me.
But understand, bro. Listen, I understand that talk because it's English and it's in the Constitution. It's in the Constitution that it's like we're not even human, bro. It's like we fair game, bro. That's how we get treated, bro. And we got to understand this, man, and understand that it's not right. We have to. It's been going on forever, man. It's been going on forever. And the only thing I can just say right now, man, Tombstone Cassie, Tombstone lifestyle, man. That's it, man. You can't try to make anything else right, dude. It's bad, bro.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna say. Can I say something on that? Can I say something on that? My homeboy told me something. My homeboy told me something a week ago. He said the thing that the biggest mistake we as black people have been doing for too many years is trying to fight for equality when we should have been fighting for superiority.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to stop trying to prove that we're just like you. Right. And we should have been making them prove why they're not just like us.
Yeah. And that's
I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if I said that right.
Sure.
You feel what I'm saying? Because he was like, yo, we should have been, from those that were before us. And he said, I understand what they were doing, but he said that's the problem. When you're trying to get somebody to think that y'all the same, and they think they're better than you already, you never gonna win. But when you gotta tell somebody, no, I need you to get on my level. Y'all not on our level. Yeah. Then all day long they fighting to show you that they need to get on your level. See, we should have been, and I think that's why I think we need to start getting on the level where we need to say, no, get on our level. Y'all not on our level. And that's why y'all killing us. Y'all killing us because you realize you're not on our level. Yes, and you're killing us because you realize you're not on our level. You're not on our frequencies, because you can't create. You can't put anything into motion. You can't create fashion. You can't create language. We create language, bruh. We take their crappy language, busted up language, and we make raps. We make songs. Hip hop, we make R&B, right? We create stories that they can't even fathom, right? So we got to get to the point, and when this is before this happened, dude told me this. He was like, man, we got to start fighting from the point of superiority. We are superior, and I know for some people, I just said that made them say, ooh, wait a minute, wait, nobody's superior. I get it. I understand why we say that, but we are, and we got to accept that reality. We are superior. Like,
in what ways?
We're superior. Let's start with our skin.
I'm just asking.
I'm gonna start with our skin.
Okay.
Just in our skin, right? We can be out in the sun all day, and not a cancer bump pop up on us. Not a cancer polyp pop up on us. That's just off rip. That's just from nature, off rip.
Okay.
Right? Now let's go to the other things. Now let's go to our create. Now let's talk about our
Hold on.
ingenuity.
Wait. I want to hear what you're saying. Like when you say our skin makes us superior because we can be out in the sun, right, and not have all of this stuff going on and all the other stuff or whatever, right? And this is what I'm getting at. What you just said, is that any better than what they say? Our skin, I'm white, it makes me superior to you. Is that any better than what they're saying? They're saying the same thing.
No, see, because
we're doing it. We're doing the
it's not the same thing. No,
that we're accusing other people of doing.
No, it's not the same thing. No. I get you. I
have a capability.
No.
Wait, no. Let me finish. No, just because every creature on this planet has its advantages and disadvantages.
Right.
Every creature on this planet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you come to me in my natural habitat, then I'm the one that has the advantage.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm only superior to you in my natural habitat. If I'm a gator,
right?
If I'm a gator, and you
keep it up.
I don't care if you're a lion. If you get in that water, and I'm a gator,
right?
I got you.
Right. You said in my natural habitat, right?
And listen.
Right.
If you get in that water with me,
right,
I don't care what you are. You're dead man. That's all I'm saying.
So that means
we have our advantages, we have our disadvantages. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying one person is superior to another because of the color of their skin. I'm not saying that. Because that's what they say, and that's what they propagated, and it's almost like we're doing the same thing that they're doing.
Nah,
it's crazy to me.
Totally different. I'm gonna tell you why it's not the same thing. I'm gonna tell you why it's not the same thing. Because their thing about skin color had to do with the fact that their skin color made them, for some reason, they were fairer. They were prettier. They were nicer, right? What we're talking about here has nothing to do with nicer or prettier or anything. It has all to do with being in my own habitat, being in my own nature, and only in nature, being basic, right? I'm supposed to be here. And because I'm here, right, nothing destroys me. Only thing that destroys me are the people that don't want me here. Right?
Okay.
Now, that's what I'm saying. What they were doing was, we're superior to you, and then we're going to destroy you. We're going to destroy you, and we're going to make you suffer because we think we're more superior than you. We've never done such a thing. You will never find a place in history where we've ever said such a thing, right? So by nature of what we are in nature, that's what makes us superior. Now, do we go around, prancing around, making a big deal about it? No, we don't. Because why? Nature proves our point for us, right? Now, what they do, on the other hand, is that they make these cockamamie points. Oh, I'm better than you because white people made all these different things, which is not true, right? Right? So that's what we're talking about. What I'm talking about now is our superiority has nothing to do with us having to fan our own flame. We don't have to fan our own flame because nature proves it. Right? History has proven it, because they're the same people that got to come back around and change the history, right? And say, no, he didn't do that. We helped him do that, right?
Okay, so right there where you said it, this is what I'm saying. If you are superior because of your skin color, then you talk about nature and you talk about history. Why are these people able to come in and do what they did to you since you're so superior? They have the they have the historical evidence if they want to now. If they want to, because we're here, right? We're here. We're in this American construct, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right. So in what ways do we prove our superiority? Because they can turn around and say, well, you know what? I understand y'all got y'all melanin and all that good stuff or whatever. But you know what? I'm going to create division among y'all. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, and guess what? I'm going to get you on a boat. I'm going to oppress you. I'm going to do this, and guess what? I'm going to build wealth on the backs of your people. Since you're so superior, I'm gonna build wealth. I'm gonna build wealth on your back. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna oppress you for 500 years, and then the Arabs gonna oppress you for 1,500, longer than we did. Maybe we saw them do it, and we decided to do it too. Since y'all so superior, you got all I'm asking is, I don't like to get into that type of superior talk.
Why?
Because if we were superior, why are we here?
Because we still here. Because we're here. Because if we weren't here, for the things that they have done to us, if we were not superior, we would have been eradicated. They have done enough things.
You can't eradicate.
Yes, you can.
This is what I'm saying.
Yes, you can. Bruh, listen to me. Look at the
No,
Native
no,
Americans. The Native Americans are non-existent right now, bruh. They're
Native Americans still
non-existent.
exist today. What I'm
They're
saying-
non-existent, bruh.
There's only one group of people that's been eradicated off the face of this planet, and that's Tasmanians. That's
Bruh.
it, bro. That's it. Off the coast of Africa, those are the only group of people on this planet that has been completely eradicated. All right?
Okay.
Nobody else has been completely eradicated. That's what I'm saying.
People in this country, bro. You know what I'm saying? We, the African Americans, the so-called African Americans, so-called blacks, and so-called Indians. Christopher Columbus called them Indians, right? Because he thought he was Indian, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I thought it was India.
Now, it was people here before Christopher Columbus came here, like the Olmecs. There were civilizations.
Yeah.
The Aztecs. We had different things here, right? So these but the part that I seen with the culture was they wasn't like really scared of bringing anybody in because they was already doing trade and that type of stuff. But they did have conflicts amongst each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But every time, just like in the movie Shaka Zulu, every time you come in and bring in religion, politics, man, that's that snake, man.
Who let them do it?
We do.
Let them? That's what I'm
Is it
saying.
right, bro?
It all goes back to us.
Bro, is it right, bro?
It ain't right. It ain't right. But what I'm saying is,
that's all I'm saying. We trying to say what's humane, bro. We trying to say what's humane because the thing that they don't talk about. They don't talk about the slave rebellions. They don't talk about the Haitians winning their independence, being the first to win the independence. Haiti won the independence first, bro. There was so many rebellions, bro, and so many fights. So many Indians of the Okeechobee, bro. We always fought, but America tell the history they want to tell, bro. They want to tell the history they want to tell to paint this society they want to have for us, bro. And that's what it is, bro. That's why public schools exist. That's why private schools exist. That's why they shape your mind and everything like they want, bro. Through propaganda and everything that comes in this culture, bro.
But Derek, that's why I said what I said earlier. That's why I said I know the topic of superiority gives people problems. Because we as black folk, I understand because because we've been taught it's like that whole trope that says black people can be racist. Can we be racist?
I don't think so.
No, we cannot be racist. We cannot. We can be prejudiced. We can be prejudiced. We can have our preferences. We can stereotype, but we can't be racist. Why?
But I'll say this.
You know why we can't be racist? Because we've never set up a system. We've never set up a system. We've never set up things to oppress just one group of people. We've never done that.
That's
right?
understandable.
There's no history that shows we've ever done that, right? So I understand. That's That's why when I say that whole idea of superiority, I even take it as far as I'm about to really go into the deep end with this one. I would go there. Even as it relates to spirituality, we're so superior that when we should be cutting your heads off, when we should be burning everything down around here, right? What do? We forgive you.
They taught you to do that.
No, because we better than you. We better than you. We better than you.
They taught you to be like that.
Huh?
You know what I'm saying? That's why I like my man Malcolm X, man. I do, man. By any means necessary, bro. You talking about, man? Get tired sometimes, bro.
We do. We do.
You know what I'm saying?
We do.
And then trust the police. How you gonna trust the very thing?
I told you I was going into
police.
I know I went to the deep end.
That's what I'm saying.
The very thing that's killing us.
Listen. Listen. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm a teacher, right?
Right.
If I go and injure a kid, all right, then when I get locked up, and I will, all right, they're not gonna put teachers like they're gonna say Derek Bowden. You know what I'm saying? I think we have a tendency of taking us compared to the general population. We take a small group of people and we label the whole population. We are worse than they are with that type of stuff. And it's crazy. We sit here and talk about it, but we do the same thing or worse than they do, bro.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do we do? What do we do that's worse? What do we think? What are we doing? What are we doing that's the same?
If you look at the entire police force, you might take 1 or 2% of that across the nation that actually does the type of stuff that this man did to this black guy the other day. And we say, fuck the police, all of them. We can't do that.
Right. I understand that, but we don't. But what we do is what you do. That's by nature of what you living in proximity to your brother or sister. Because white people killing white people every day. Hispanic people killing Hispanic people every day. So that right there, I understand what you're saying, but it's a little bit more. It's more serious than that.
You're criticizing somebody, but you're doing the same thing that they do. And this is what I'm saying. You're right. I understand what you're saying about, I understand what you're saying about black people can't be racist. But what I'm going to tell you is this. I'm going to bring some balance to that. Because oftentimes this is what we get. We do get groups of black people who don't want to be a part of our group in any kind of way. They want to be European or whatever you want to call it. They want to be that, and they're worse than white people are to black people. What do you call that?
Yeah, that's prejudice.
What do you call that?
Prejudice and stereotype.
No, that's not prejudice.
Yeah, that's prejudice, man.
When you're worse than the oppressor is, and you come from the people.
Yeah.
Because listen, people do this. Our people from among us do this to try to prove to those in power that I'm gonna be a better white person than white people.
Right.
It ain't even first of all it ain't all white people. Number one, there are white people who died. There are white people who killed and died right alongside us.
Right.
So we can't even make a blanket statement like white people. There's a certain group of these of people, white people, just like there's a certain group of black people who contribute to the problem, bro. That's what I'm saying.
So now, who are these people that really controlling the works of everything? You know what I'm saying?
You don't even know what they look like. None of us know what they look like.
Exactly. The only thing I just go off of
is what's happening.
Me as a fact.
Right.
It affect my answer. You know what I'm saying? Now it's affecting me now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really care how they look, bro. I don't care. I just want my free liberties, man. My natural liberties as a human being to grow and express life like I want, man.
But check this out. Okay, Derek, let's go with your train of thought, right? Let's go with your line of thought, right? Your line of reasoning, right? Now, look at right now what just happened yesterday over there, right? Now, this happened a few days ago to this man. Just yesterday, right? People were protesting without guns, and the police were throwing tear gas at them. Now, just a month ago, in that same state, maybe I believe that same city, there were white people walking around with guns, protesting because they wanted to go get their hair done. They said their civil liberties was being attacked. They said this was slavery, that they had to stay in their house. And what did you see the police? What was the stature of the police on that? The police stayed right there as these people were yelling in their faces with no mask on. Nobody got tackled to the ground. Nobody got tear gassed or anything, right?
Right.
So what did that show me? All that showed me was like, oh, you're showing me who you show preference to. You showing me who you think matters, right? And in that, you showing me that, and that let me know that you think these people, even though these people pose more of a threat, they were more of a threat because they had weapons. They had weapons on them, right? Okay. These people have no weapons. They just throwing rocks at you. You're throwing tear gas at them.
Bro, but listen to this. I was just looking at the live with over 83,000 people on it. It was white people there too getting tear gas. It wasn't just a group of black people. This is what I'm saying, bro. Like, I understand what's been propagated about us. I get that, bro. I understand that. I understand how, you know what I'm saying, all of this works in terms of that. All I'm saying is this, bro. When we try to come from a standpoint of superiority, are we not doing the same thing that was done against us? I look. You saying we're superior? Like
No,
I'm like,
I'm saying it like in like my point, my theory of it. It's like philosophies and principles. It's an ideology to live up to. You know what I'm saying? We
mhm,
want to build to say that yeah, we better than you, this and that, but not like as a human. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got the same thing as humans, but
right,
our culture we strive for the stars. You know what I'm saying? It's infinite. It's infinite possibility. Things like
right,
that, and I
right,
think that's beautiful because companies have that. You know what I'm saying? Like Nike, just do it. They got a different slogan on how they chase things.
right.
So we need that too, man. We've
I
been
agree.
giving our slogans, bro. We've been giving our American dream. We've been giving these certain things. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at right now as a man. It's like, okay, I want to explore infinite possibilities, bro.
Right.
But it's hard to do that up on this construct, bro.
Okay,
Hard.
I'm gonna help you out with
Especially,
that,
it's
Derek.
especially hard when we don't do our due diligence as it relates to ourselves. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Like we right here in Poker Bell Glade South Bay. Listen, I done did this before. We had people complaining about, being kicked out of the park and stuff like that or whatever. And so I say, okay, I hear the complaints. Income tax time was coming around, and I say, okay, this is what we could do. Um, if all of us get together, we get enough of us, take about 2 grand, all right, put your 2 grand in, everybody put their 2 grand in. Let's buy a parcel for ourselves. We can park our cars on it however long we want. We can keep our cars and nobody can kick us off our property, right? I said that as a solution to the problem of being kicked out of the park. Let's buy this parcel. Let's put our money together. Let's buy this parcel of land. All of us are owners. We can park our car. We can chill. We can barbecue. We can do whatever we want to do on our property, and the police can't put us off.
Yeah.
I heard crickets after that. But see, we so used to complaining about stuff
Right.
that when somebody come with a plan and a solution, and it cost you, see, you might want to spend $2,000 on a TV that you always wanted. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, let's pool our money together. Let's buy this lot. Let's park our cars on it. Let's play our music on it,
Right.
and all this or whatever. And it belongs to us.
Right.
And I heard crickets, bro.
Right.
I heard
Bro.
crickets.
Bro.
This is the type of stuff I'm talking about, bro.
Right.
Can't fight like that, bro. We got to go straight at the monster now, bro. The monster got to answer us, bro. Straight up and down, bro. Like we ain't got time to be playing with the monster no more, bro. We got to get down to the bottom of it. And we as a people, we need our own, bro.
Mhm.
We need our own, bro. And everybody understand what's going on against black people, especially black men, bro. We know what's going on, bro.
Mhm.
And like a lot of people try to like ignore it. I can't ignore it, bro. I can't, but I understand the equality of humanity, man. And all of us are humans. And that's what I agree with you, D. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm a part of my culture, I do think my culture is better than the next culture, just philosophically, you know what I'm saying? But that don't mean I'm gonna beat you in the streets and you know what I'm saying, treat you bad or whatever. No, it's like we want to have the same advantages everybody else has. If we don't, people in the ghetto don't have the same advantages, bro. We don't have the same luxury on exposure and expanding our minds as kids. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to a private school or different things to get that exposed. You know what I'm saying? We know what blacks as a culture need. We need a nation for one.
Yeah.
Because it's not African American or it's not black.
Okay.
And right in the Constitution, we animals or something. So we just need our own right now, bro. We need to be fresh, bro. That's the only thing I can see right now, bro. Swear to God, man.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to the superiority thing again. All right. Toni Morrison said this. Toni Morrison said, for you to feel superior is when I have to be on my knees. That means you're not superior. That means I am.
I like it.
Toni Morrison said that.
That's dope.
See, our superiority is not based on the fact that we need somebody on their knees.
Right.
We don't need anybody. It goes back to football team. Let's go to sports, right?
Right.
I know I got some Cowboy fans in the chat. Cowboy fans tell you.
And I didn't say buying a new park is going to solve issues with black people killing or cops killing.
No.
I didn't say nothing. I just happened to see a comment. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I wasn't even saying that.
No. But no. We know what you're saying. We know what you're trying to say.
Right.
What I was saying was.
Listen.
What I was saying was going back to what we were saying is that the thing of superiority. It's like football teams. I know we got Cowboy fans in there. Cowboy fans tell you every year they the best team. They gonna win it all, right? Cowboy fans, I done seen some years where the Cowboys barely break 500.
Because of their own worst enemy, bro.
And they go in there, they say,
own worst enemy,
and then
bro.
they go in there, they still tell you, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. You like, bro, y'all barely 5-5, bro. What you talking about? But in their mind,
are their own worst enemy.
In their mind.
But who team is that? That's
America's team.
That right.
Actually, the Patriots is really the
Patriots. Yeah, but I say all that to say is that a healthy sense of your strengths. There's nothing wrong with that. A healthy sense of your strength. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when somebody else, for them to feel strength, they have to put you on their knees. That's why I can't agree with you on the fact that we're doing the same thing. We're not doing the same thing because we're not putting anybody on their knees for us to feel better. We're not hindering anybody for us to feel better. We're not withholding from anybody for us to feel better. No, by nature, despite the fact that we're being hindered, we're still doing better. Despite the fact that people are subjugating us and manipulating us, despite that, it's like that old adage that says roses growing out of the concrete. Like, how's a rose grow out of concrete, bruh? Like, that's what's happening. Because that rose knows how to grow. It can grow, right? So I say all that to say I think we have to have a healthy sense of who we are. And not just black people. This is everybody, man. This is everybody.
All I'm saying is, you know, and even when I mentioned the whole thing about us pooling our money together and buying a parcel of land so we can chill on it without being kicked off of our own property. That's the whole point. The whole point is shut up and do something. Because I hear you complaining.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up and do something about it. Put your money up, all right? Because your money and how you use your money is also a sign of where your values are as well. Because if you're going to sit around and complain about it, and somebody come with a solution and they saying, listen, you can take $1,000.
Yeah.
You can take $2,000, whatever. Let's pool our money together and get something that we can't get kicked off of.
Right.
Because it's ours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And guess what? We might be like, okay, that worked right there. Let's get another parcel. Group economics is what Dr. Carl Anderson talked about. Mm-hmm. Group economics. What are we producing? We use toilet paper, we use cups and all that stuff every day, and we're not producing any of it.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we you can buy a machine for $25,000 that can spit you out cups like this right here. Why don't we have that?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We can start there. And sell, and you know what? These can be sold in our grocery stores.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of getting it from a company, Dole, or whatever this company is or whatever, we're not producing anything.
Yeah.
We're consuming everybody else's stuff, and we're doing what we did when we got here. We're making other nations rich, and we're not building wealth for ourselves, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it sounds like slavery. Hey, we still in slavery. We just call that slavery. We still in slavery. We can't never the country, bro. It won't let us, bro. It's right in the Constitution. Bro. Listen, bro. Say it again.
It won't let us do what? What can't we do?
We can't build our own produce. We can't build nothing out of our own, bro. We can't. How we gonna build our own, bro? We won't have a nation, bro. It can't happen, bro. It can't happen, bro. It's gonna be tough to do it in this country, bro.
So
it's gonna be tough.
Okay, so let me ask you: if we all decided that we were part of the Moorish Empire, we got a flag, we got all the other stuff or whatever that we think we need or whatever. You tell me how is that going to change everything that black people deal with in this country?
Okay, now we have a nation to fight for. So where's gonna go back to the United Nations? You know what I'm saying? United Nations. Now everything gonna go to the United Nations now, bro. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just finding out this type of stuff, and we can't really own or do anything when we still slaves, bro. We still slaves, bro. So when we get a nation, now we can make some moves for ourselves, man, and actually do some things. Because okay, how can an African guy or Arabian guy come in this country and immediately got get 70-11s and Indian guys come and get all this type of stuff? What's going on?
They're backed by our country. They're backed by their country.
They're backed by their country, but we grew like we were born and raised in America, and we can't get that type of stuff, bro. I got another problem right now, bro. We can't get we ain't had a grant yet, bro. We get just help from like, you know what I'm saying, marathon, the small place, bro. But we can't get that kind of help, bro. And that's what I'm saying, bro. We need we need to be able to get the same liberties and the same things to get ahead like everybody else, bro. We need that, bro.
So and I understand that my mom has a nonprofit organization as well. But my thing is this though. First of all, and I don't think that people realize this about business, man. This stuff doesn't just pop up overnight. And I'm gonna tell you, like from somebody that's worked in the private sector, like let me give you an example. Children's Services Council of Broward County. All right, they funded my program, the program that I worked in called Youth in Action. All right. Now, when I talk to these people about doing my own thing, I'm gonna tell you what it is. First of all, they have a step system in place, and I'm gonna explain how that works. Now, I can start a nonprofit organization, but those first, let's just say the first 3 years that I have my nonprofit organization, I have to service other nonprofit organizations to prove myself for 3 years. Now they already gave, let's just say they gave a nonprofit $500,000, and they got line items for enrichment, and we can say our enrichment is tennis. All right, they already gave that nonprofit $500,000. They might have $20,000, $30,000 for tennis for a full year. All right, your nonprofit organization would service that nonprofit organization and get paid as an independent contractor. All right, you prove yourself. And not only that, you don't have to work. You don't have to do that for one nonprofit. You can get 5 nonprofits, and if you got enough people, AYS can service as independent contractors for those 5 and get paid that way for 3 years. After 3 years, you're eligible to get your own funding from Children's Services Council. You see what I'm saying? And then they take you through the system and things like that or whatever. But this is what I'm saying, like. It's possible. We just have to figure out what the system is in terms of how we get to where we're trying to go. It's possible, bro. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I work with Colombians, bro. My CEO is Colombian. You feel me? I'm gonna tell you one of the things that I learned about them, and I learned about Colombia itself. I was told by a person, listen, I love America. This is what the person told me. This is a Colombian telling me, I love America. I say, well, why you say that? Because I'm on that other stuff. Like, man. I was looking to move to Brazil, bro. I was like, man, I'm gonna get me a 10-step plan to get out of here. You feel me? And I'm listening to this little Colombian lady talk to me. She was young. Yeah. I said, why you love Colombia, man? I said, why you love America, man? Like, ain't Colombia better? She said, no. She said, let me explain to you what people don't realize about other countries. She said, in Colombia, if you born poor, you die poor. She said, there's no way you can work your way up into middle class. There's no way you can work your way up into upper class. Right. Wherever you are born is where you die. Yeah. She said, this is why I love America, because I was born poor. And look at what I'm doing right now. Right. And guess what? And if I wanted to, I could even send money back to help take care of my family who's going to always be in poverty. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, but my point of view in America is different than hers over there from a country. From Colombia. You know what I'm saying? In my experience, and I'm right here. And she thinking, okay, she come over here and she's like, okay, this is better, and it is better. But my better is bigger than her better, but growing up in America, I'm seeing everything and I can't never get there, bro. So what you're saying is cool, but I'm never gonna get to my view of America. You know what I'm saying? Because she's coming from Colombia, but my view of America and what I need to get at as a black man is tough. Yeah. It's tough, and then they got feelings. They got politics. Yeah. And the thing is now, what I see right now, I'm going back to the nonprofit and small business, it's corporation. Right. You're gonna have to rub elbows with people, man. You got to do different things, man. Because see, me and my wife go to the seminars and whatnot, and I realized one thing. I said, man, why is I'm sitting here listening to these guys, man? Let me talk to the guy. Let me do my own business, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we said, the real entrepreneurs are like the street hustlers. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Got the number guys and all those type of guys that do it. You know what I'm saying? So I see the same thing in government. In American government, I see racketeering, I see money laundering, I see all that kind of stuff. And see, they so good with it because they built the castle and the tombstone. They built all this. They know all the loopholes. And then they protect their companies and different things in different cities and whatnot, man. It's whatever, man. But the thing is, like, my point is, like, we don't have a chance. We don't have a chance. If you do, you got to pretty much sell your soul and do this and do that. But, man, it's tough, man, when you come out from a nation, bro. because we're in a nation that's
Let me say something. Let me say something to both of that. Like I agree. I don't know if you can agree to both of them. I can agree to both of them.
You can see where we're both coming from.
Yeah, but I agree with both because both of them are legitimate. Both of them are legitimate responses because in this country we have to be honest. Those that are the wealthiest people in this country are not the nicest people. They are the grimiest people. They have done illegal things and then they figured out how to wash their money and now they look clean. Let's just be that's just honesty. That's not that's history. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but at the same time though, there are some people that have done things legitimately. They have done things legitimately. They have had to take risk that to everybody else look crazy, but they did it the right way and they've been able to benefit. So that's why I said I agree with both of them.
All I'm saying is though, the Achilles heel for us is that when opportunities come, we haven't done our due diligence and been prepared for those opportunities. You know what I'm saying? We can grow and we can develop. The thing is, it takes effort. Sometimes you're gonna have to read some stuff. Sometimes you're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, from a political standpoint, everybody want to be a part of a winner, right? You know what I'm saying? First of all, I'll say this. There are people that want to give to nonprofits on the Muck. The problem is they don't trust them. So they hold on to their money. And I've been told this.
Okay, they don't trust us. Why they don't trust us, bro? Like, they don't know us.
Right.
You can't trust them.
Right.
You know
Right. Okay, so here, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. All right. Part of the reason why there's distrust is because of what other people have done who have nonprofits. People give money and the money go missing, things like that or whatever. So now, we need, if we were to start a nonprofit organization, like my mom has one, y'all have one, Dean. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, people have this stuff doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes people are watching you and you don't know it. Sometimes people looking to see how your company is growing and what you're doing and everything. Another thing is the data. Do we capture data to present to people in terms of what we're able to do and how we're able to work with these kids in tennis and work with these kids in education and things like that or whatever? Can we show that this kid came in with a D average and because that kid was in our program for 6 months, 6 months later, this kid has improved up to a B average. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, these are the things, like people not going to go by like, hey man, we doing this, we doing that. Everybody, you can be lying to them. They want to see data. They want to look at report cards. They want to see tournaments. Like, you know what I'm saying? This kid, dang, watch this. When they still a kid, like, okay, this kid could be the next Serena Williams. Let's get behind that. Let me tell you why they do that. And it's political. Because these people got money. First of all, it benefits them to give money to your nonprofit organization because it's a tax write-off for them. You know what I'm saying? It's a tax write-off. If the organization looks good, then the person who gave the money to the organization look even better to their colleagues and things like that or whatever. That's the politics of it, dog. Mm-hmm. That's the politics of it. It's how do I leverage my organization to coach these people into committing to donating $100,000 a year to my organization, and they name on something and they look good because they're a donor. You shout them out, they look good, they feel good, they got a tax write-off, and that's the politics.
And see, that's the problem we have in our country right now with politics. You can't politic nature, bro. Okay, to really, you can't measure a human being by grades or numbers. True. You can't do that, right? And so the way to measure my program is to talk to the kids and see how long we've been doing it over a period of time. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But we big with data, we big with numbers because we that type of country, man. You know what I'm saying? We like the stats and that type of stuff, bro. But to me, that's wrong for humanity, bro. It's wrong.
I understand that.
You know what I'm saying? It's wrong, and we start observing and start like grading things different based on like humanity, bro. And biological stuff. Like, you telling me you got the data is gonna tell you how good my program is? You looking at some numbers. You looking at some numbers. You don't know the atmosphere of it. You don't know the breakfast and stuff we have from. You don't know the counts. You don't know anything humane. You just get the numbers.
Yeah. That's why that's why they'll do site visits. That's why they do planned site visits and they do unplanned site visits. It's like they see, the thing is, there was a time when they didn't do any of this, and basically people were bucking them for their bread.
Right.
So they had to change.
Right.
There was a time when if you started a nonprofit organization and you applied for a $400,000 grant,
You got it.
You had a good chance of getting it.
Yeah, you just got
but
it. Yeah.
So many people started it and bucked the system that they had to change it.
Yeah.
Hey, ain't a religion like the nonprofit too.
Yeah.
For that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, why can that get supported like real easy than a guy who use sports can't? You know what I'm saying?
Bruh,
because
listen,
okay,
I'm gonna tell you what.
I know people who just started the church fast. Man.
Oh man, listen. I'm gonna tell you. Okay, Dean, I don't know if you knew Dean, but I'm a pastor too. I don't know if you know. I don't know if Derek told you or not.
Nah, I ain't know.
Yeah, I'm a pastor too. Right? No offense, bro. No offense. No.
No, we good, bro. You strong in here, bro. You better suit on, bro.
Sometimes.
Oh boy.
They be getting me, bro. I be trying not to. They be getting me bad, man. I be trying to fight it. No, bro. I hate it. I hate it with my life. But I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you something. You can start a church faster because you can make the money without tax.
Wow.
Yeah. So that means, like right now, like let's say for instance let's say all three of us started a church, right? We can start a church right now, right? We can start a church right now. The church will be tax-free, tax-exempt. So because the church is tax-exempt, we can get a credit card in the church's name. We can buy a house for each one of us tax-free via the church. Yes. We can buy each other a car. We can get the church a line of credit. We can buy each one of us a car, tax free. That's why you see churches pop up all the time. Dudes just figured that out. Now the thing about it is, but there's a reason for that. The government needs religious organizations because religious organizations legitimizes the government, right?
Yes,
that's why you see during this whole pandemic.
Yeah.
You notice that they were making a big deal about opening up churches, right? Because they need churches open. Right. They need them open, even though that's the worst idea ever, right? Yeah. We haven't opened up. We're not going to open up until, like I heard this one pastor say in Chicago, he said, we ain't going to open up until the White House opened up for tours. That's when we're going to open up. So, but the reality is they need churches because churches give them legitimacy, and churches push. A lot of the churches push this idea of American greatness, superiority, and stuff like that. Now, the thing about it is, with the church, bro, you literally, matter of fact, more than a nonprofit, actually. A church has more leeway than a nonprofit because nonprofits, you still got to pay with nonprofits, you still got to do you still got to do W-2s for people, right? With a church, you don't have to do a W-2 for people. Like you can just pay people like a stipend, and don't even have to write it off. Like and you can still write. Matter of fact, you can still write it off as gifts and stuff like that. It is like, bruh, the hustle that religious organizations have. That's why I'm surprised. I am surprised that they haven't changed the tax laws for organizations. I know there's some pastors that probably hearing what I'm saying, like, why are you telling all our secrets? It's the truth.
Oh, it's the truth, man.
You go look it up. I'm just making it more simple. Yeah. And that's why dudes start church. That's why you can see a dude pop up a church, shut it down in a year, open up another one, right? Open up a whole new congregation, right? With no problem, because he can make that money so fast. Like just in offerings, bro. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give y'all an example. I had a dude I knew. If I say what I'm about to say, he might not even watch what I'm watching, but I'll say it. I knew a dude. He told me, this is when I lived out in Louisiana. This dude told me he can make, you know how they do them pastor appreciation things? Mm-hmm. He said he make his whole salary on one pastor appreciation. He make his whole salary for the year off one pastor appreciation. So he said he could, you know what his at that time, that dude's salary was $90,000 a year.
Oh, bro.
He made it in one Sunday.
Come on, bro.
And check, I'm about to really kill you now. Ask me how many people in this church. Ask me how many people, huh?
20. I'm in the church.
25.
Oh, close. Wow.
in a rural community.
Oh my God, man.
So
that's the part of my
Okay.
So
now,
so that's what
go ahead,
my
we
bad.
on this.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Dean.
That's the problem I got with America right there, what he said. You know what I'm saying? And like I was talking to one of my friends, it's not the religion I have a problem with. It's the way everything is constructed, bro, and how it affects our people, man. You know what I'm saying?
So
Go ahead.
So here's the thing. Okay. With that being said, if I create so if I put you in a room full and let's just say if I put you in a house and in every room is some cake, some candy, some soda, you know what I'm saying, all this other stuff or whatever in the room, right? I set the environment or I set it up for you to eventually kind of eat some of it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, you're not gonna walk past that every day, all day, and not try some of it, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, and this is where I kind of I look at us and I say, you know, what are we doing? Because from what I'm seeing, even when it comes down to churches, why is it? When we talking about Pokey alone, Pokey got about 20 churches, and little old Pokey, by the way, Pokey got about 20 churches. All right, within close proximity to one another.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
About 20 churches. Now, here's my thing though. Like I said, I'm gonna go back to it. Whatever you use, if it's not a tool, if it cannot be used as a tool for your growth, your development, and your liberation, and the liberation of your people, and the growth and development of your people, it needs to be trashed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If it cannot be used for that purpose, it needs to be trashed, and churches included in that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we are already in a community where there's poverty. All right. Now we've used religion as a means to take money away from people who already ain't got it.
Got it, right.
We have not seen it on a massive scale actually being used to make our area better.
Right.
All right. Now we may have a few pastors in the community, just a few of them, that actually really do try to do stuff and contribute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. We do have some of those, but the vast majority of them do not make that type of contribution towards our community. They actually take away from the community.
Yeah.
From people who already broke.
You
take in what they have. So now, when I look at it from that standpoint, what part of that is our responsibility in terms of saying, you know what, man, we already ain't got no money, and the little bit that we do have, we giving it up.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this for 30, 40, 50, 60 years more. And our community is no better, as a result of it. In nature, let's deal with nature. Yeah. In nature, if something is dysfunctional, it's cut off.
Yeah.
It's cut off. If something is not serving the purpose of nature, which is to grow and to develop, nature will not allow it to go on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. It's the people's responsibility to look up and say, you know what? This is wrong. I'm not supporting that with my money. I'm not supporting that with my attendance. And the place that does do that, that's where I'm going to go. You feel me?
Yeah.
But we don't do that.
It's tough,
we
bro.
still spread out, and everybody giving up their bread and are not getting anything in return for what they're giving, except for some music and clapping of the hands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like we grew up in this, man. We don't have many options, bro. And they know they be spiritual people, and you know what I'm saying, and we passionate, that type of stuff, bro. That's why they have a church like almost every corner, man. You know, and that's my way of saying that it's a graveyard, man. It's a graveyard. The hood is the graveyard, bro. And every church is a tombstone, bro. Right. That's what it is, bro. And that's why neighborhood, and it's strategically done, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Let's make a correction. Spirituality is a relationship between man and God. Religion is not a relationship between man and God. Religion is not the same. Spirituality is a relationship between man and God. That's when you're spiritual. All right? No, I had to correct that because I saw something in the comments. You know what I'm saying? No, spirituality is you and God.
Well,
religion is not you and God.
Religion is just practice.
What's important for every human being? It's my thing. That like self knowledge, understanding the self first, then branch it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you know what, guys? I think here's the reality, man. It's like, and I've had this conversation. I remember one time, one of my friends and I said this. We were like, he was like, yo, for many of our communities, the church would have been one of the best places of community organization because you get everybody there, right? And you could push a lot of stuff. Even though everybody may not be on the same, but it could be a hub because that's what it used to be back in the day. It used to be a hub for revolution. It used to be a hub for a lot of different things, right? But like I just told y'all before, cats figured out, hey man, this needs to just be a hustle. And because it's just a hustle now, right? Because it's a hustle for a lot of guys, right? Not everybody. For a lot of guys, it's a hustle. Whether it's a hustle financially, whether if it's a hustle emotionally, because some of them, the money ain't the thing. For some of them, it's the fact that people are looking at them and people are talking about them. They got people. That's why. Let me tell you something, man. It's in this pandemic I see how needy a lot of people are. Like emotionally needy. They need people clapping for them all the time. That's why some guys wanted to open up their churches, not because they were really wanting to see people. They want people to really just come. They wanted to be there because they want people to keep clapping their hands and saying, hey, pastor, you this. Hey, pastor, you that. And stuff like that. So I say all that to say, you got this. We have a very serious problem, man, where we have God gave us something that should have destroyed us, right? That should have destroyed us. God gave us something for us to organize. And then what do? Like you just said there, we take it, we use it for our own selfish desires, and now I can't do nothing for us. Right? It ain't doing or our community. And so it's leaving us helpless. It's leaving us like I'm seeing the church like more we have more people in our communities that are emotionally unstable because of the church. Because of things that happen to them in church. Because
if you continue to stay there, if you continue to interact and engage, knowing what it doesn't do for you, then whose fault is that? That lies on you because it's in your power to make the decision to do what's best for yourself. You see what I'm saying? And we haven't done that. We haven't even stood up to that fact that in our community, we already ain't got no money, and then we giving that up as well, thinking that because you give your money, God is gonna do a favor for you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Give me your money, and God's gonna do you a favor.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we paying God. It's almost like you try to make people feel that they're paying God off.
You said it.
To do things for them.
You said it.
You feel me? And see,
and you know what, bro? And you know what, bro? I think the reality is, I just thought about something, man. When you said that, the problem is too, man. We got herd mentality. Meaning that we gotta be, we even though we know this thing is hurting us, being in this space is bad for me, but I gotta be here because that's where everybody else is at, and it's gonna make me look like it makes me look like somebody that's sociable because I'm here. Right. It makes me look like a good person because I'm here, even though this is no good for me. You know, I know people, man. I know people that are in places like they need time away. They need time away from the place, right? They don't want to get away from the place because they're like, I gotta be da 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 da. And then you're just like, but dude, wasn't you just? I know people that are in. I don't even want to go deep into it, but there's people that are in extramarital relationships with pastors, with deacons, with all of these people, and the person is hurting, right? They don't want to leave. The place is hurting you. The place is destroying you emotionally, spiritually, in every way. But you don't want to leave it for whatever reason. I'm not going to judge you, but they don't want to leave it, right? But it's destroying them. And then the people that are the person or the situation that they're staying there for is ready to dispose of them, ready to throw them away at the thing.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like it's one of those things, and I know there's maybe people listening like, dang, dude, you a preacher and you talking like that, like, because I know the real, y'all. I know the real. I've been around it all my life. I've seen it, and I am not one of those dudes. Like, there's some dudes there in straight denial. Oh, well, y'all don't understand about the church. You don't understand what God. No, bro, that's ridiculous, bro. That is dumb. That is retarded. That's there's nowhere else you can go and hear that kind of mess, and you can take that crap, bro. Like, I had to tell dudes that. I used to tell dudes this. That's why I lost a lot of like so-called, religious people I know. They're not my friends because I tell them straight up, white, black, whatever. I tell them straight up. I be like, yo, dude, don't come here trying to pimp me. Go do that with them other people, but don't come here trying to pimp me like I can't see right through you. I can see right through you, right? So I say all that to say is that that's what we're dealing with in our communities. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I still truly. I'm gonna tell you. Okay, I'm gonna be transparent. I'm gonna just be transparent with this. It may come back and bite me, but that's okay. I'll be transparent about it. I remember a person asked me one time. They said, "Mo, why are you still in the church? Knowing what you know, like they know what I know. They know what I know. Like the conversation I'm having with y'all, I've been having these conversations for over 15 years with people, right? And I had a friend of mine. He said, "Bruh, with all this information that you know, bruh, all this stuff that you like into, bruh, you read and know and stuff, like, how you still in the church?" I said, because that's the one place I know I can reach all my people.
Right.
That's the one place I know I can reach all my people. And I can get this because I can get this information out because they will not hear it from anybody else. They'll hear it from me because they trust me, and I make sure I'm trustworthy. I don't scheme them. I'm trustworthy. They need anything from me, I got them if they need all that. But the reality is, there's this type of information, man. Before this whole pandemic, man, I was doing a whole sermon series on you valuable, you're important. That's all I was telling them. You're valuable in the eyes of God. You are important in the eyes of God. You are made in the image. I was telling them that they were made in the image of God. There were people that came. I'm talking about 60-year-old women, Haitian women coming up to me. This is the first time I ever realized I was important in the eyes of God.
Wow,
that I'm beautiful. 60-year-old women, 50-year-old men, 60, 70-year-old men. Like, man, I had them repeating after me, yo, you're valuable. You're important. And they'll be like, I never thought I was valuable. 70-year-old, 60-year-old people.
So, what's the percentage of guys that's like you that's in, you know what I'm saying? That though, bro, because they doing the total opposite, bro. And they pretty much the the pimp game, bro. You telling me an infinite God, you know what I'm saying, needs money? Like, this stuff is crazy, bro. And like, you taking advantage of these people, man.
Dean, I can't even. Let me tell you. Let's put it like this. I am. If let's put it in a percentage, right? People like me, we may be 2%.
I was just about to say 2%, boy.
2%.
That's that number.
You said 5? Too much. No, 2%.
That's bad.
Now there's 5%. They close to us. But because they have too much allegiance to those people that are the other 95, 98%.
So they don't count. They part of 95, 98.
Every now and then you hear them. Every now and then they'll have a conscience, right? That's 5. There's like another 5%. Every now and then they get a conscience. But then them other dudes will be like, bruh, how you gonna feed your family, bruh? How you gonna how you gonna drive? How you gonna be able to drive that series that Series 6, bruh? How you gonna be able to, bro? How you gonna be able to afford that suit, bro? If you ain't telling them,
but there's a way.
Not for them. No.
Get a job and apply yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's your way right there, right?
There. Don't even say that. Listen, y'all. Listen. Okay, I went to seminary, man. I was in seminary for a while. Okay, I went to seminary in Louisiana. There's people from that seminary probably watching me. Yo, the dirtiest word is to say that you need to be bivocational. That's a dirty word. That means be a pastor and have an outside job. That was a dirty word. Them dudes didn't want to hear that. Because for them, the church is supposed to pay all their bills and some. Like for them. And we're not talking about, I ain't talking about, no, listen, I'm not talking about black guys. I'm talking about white guys. I went to a white seminary. I'm talking about white guys. I ain't talking about black guys.
Yeah,
bro.
White guys. So
and see, this is the problem that I have with Christianity in particular. This is the problem that I have. Now, you got jokers who like it's crazy because you can't go to Islam with this. You can't go to no Jehovah's Witness with this.
Yeah.
You can't all the other religions of the world. You can't pop up at these people's place and be like, I got a degree or I'm enthusiastic and I want to preach. The Muslims gonna kill you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because in every other religion, you have to prove yourself, and that could take years within the practice of that religion. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that particular concept is definitely an African concept. Mm-hmm. You don't come in talking about you the expert at their stuff. Okay, show me you the expert by doing the thing. Meditating. You got 20 years. You got 20 years to prove yourself. Mm-hmm. They don't want to hear that. They want to jump right in and start pimping. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And see, you got your certificate. Now you can come in. Man, listen, Islam don't play that. You ain't finna come up in Islam talking that crazy stuff. Talking about like, here come my certificate, here come my degree. Mm-hmm. I'm finna be talking and ruling and pastoring over y'all. Some people don't play that. You can't go to Kingdom Hall. You can't run up in Kingdom Hall talking about, hey, I'm y'all new pastor. I got a certificate, whatever. But people don't play that type of stuff. Man. But in Christianity, you could be a pimp, you could be a child molester, you could be a misogynist, you could be all of that or whatever. And it's like as long as you look right, look the part, and you sound right, you in there. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's bad that we have to accept that type.
That's bad, bro.
Look, we should have the freedom of expression, freedom of just doing, you know what I'm saying, living how we want, man. You know what I'm saying? Right now, man, like the choices that I see right now, man, is crazy, man. Because I don't like I'm 40 right now, bro. And I don't see what they did to our community. You know what I'm saying? It pretty much destroyed the community the same way the dope game did, bro. Oh. You know what I'm saying? And they got people they have people feeling insecure themselves. You know what I'm saying? They always looking outside themselves for gratification. You know what I'm saying? We're not teaching like you said, Mo. It was a 60-year-old lady that said, "Oh, I never heard that before," because your whole approach was like building them up, having them feel like they self-worth. But in America, we don't do that with Christianity, bro. That's not the whole purpose, bro.
Dang, I'm gonna even say, you said the dope game. Yeah. Ooh, this might get me in trouble for real right here. What I'm about to say.
Everything get you in trouble, man.
No, this one might get me in trouble for real. The dope game would have helped the black community more. Why? Because you had a new crop of millionaires. But what happened was the system saw what was going to happen. They saw a transfer of wealth was about to happen. They saw a transfer of wealth. They saw black guys and Hispanic guys were doing the same thing that bootleggers in the 1920s were doing. They were flipping money, making money, and then they were like, wait a minute, we better listen. For the first time in American history, bruh, a dude could get arrested and then they seized all of his property. That never happened before. So that never happened before. Before the dope game, that never, like, you have bootleggers like Al Capone. Al Capone, they put him in prison, but he didn't lose all his money. His children still had all their money, right? But with the dope game, right, if they would have allowed the dope game to be what it was going to be, literally, the dope game could have transformed the black community, brought a whole new level of wealth. Yes, it seemed dark. I understand that, but what isn't dark in America? That's America, right? That's what America is, right? So let's just take it. Let's leave it for what it is, right? But it would have brought a whole new level of wealth into the black community, because now the money would have stayed in the black community, because now you have a level of money that would have been floating in the black community that would have stayed in the black community. So that's why I say the dope game would have been more helpful than the church. Now the church on the other hand, if it would have been what the church supposed to be, it could have been the change, could have been the balance to the dope game,
Yeah.
right? It could have been the balance to the dope game, but it wasn't. It became just like the dope game or worse. Right? You see what I'm saying? Because at least with the
No,
dope.
it's worse.
Mhm.
It's worse, bro. Because at least in the dope game, man, we had some type of militant mindset. You know what I'm saying? And we'll protect our streets and kept us on the street corners and that type of stuff. Like right now, bro, we just laying dormant, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can other cheat to a lot of stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have right now, bro. And listen, we need ways for our men to feel powerful and look great to our women. And that's the problem I have with America, bro. It's hard for me to look and feel like I want to feel in this country, bro.
Yeah.
And that's all I want, bro. Without you saying this is your option, this is your American dream, and really, bro, it runs you crazy. Everybody we have psychological problems, man, and it's crazy, bro.
Crazy.
In the dope game, bro, I'm saying run away. Like, where the dope come from? Where the dope?
Right.
So now you put the dope in the communities, then you're arrested for it.
Now, think about this now. Dudes that didn't even have a passport was getting drugs from a whole nother country. Dude ain't never been out the country before. Never had a passport, but was getting dope from Colombia. How'd he get it? Getting dope from getting weed from Vietnam. How did he get it? He never had a passport. Somebody had to bring it to him. Right?
Come on, man.
But we going to hold on. Y'all, we got we gotta wrap this up, man. We going down rabbit holes. I like these rabbit holes, man. We going down rabbit holes, boy. Cause people I'm surprised we got people still in on it, man. I'm surprised for the people that are still watching, man, you all are real. Y'all are real faithful citizens, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all, man. Cause I know we chased a lot of rabbits, but yo, this is our outlet, man. This is our way. You know, you got three men right here that care about their community, that care about our people. We care about our people, man, and that's why we talking like this. We just being open, we being transparent, and that's it, man. I don't know if you got anything to say, Derek, man.
I mean, I'll just say this, man. Like, you know, one of the things we have to do is we have to kind of learn how to be more proactive than reactive. Usually, you know what I'm saying? We the last ones. We're the last ones out on the field, and then by the time we get out on the field, the rules done change. That's what I'm saying. We have to be proactive. We have to look ahead like other people look ahead, bro.
Yeah.
You know, we got Chinatown. Man, listen, there are Vietnamese people that have their own community. There are Chinese people that have their own community here. You know what I'm saying? And they employ their own people in their restaurants. They brought their culture from their country, and they're having their culture right here. You know what I'm saying? So if anything happened and they had to go back to Vietnam, it's still the same life that they live here in America.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going back to Vietnam with it. You know what I'm saying?
We don't have the same advantages, bro.
Yeah, we don't only group of people that
African
can.
American town. You got African American town and Black town. You got
What I'm saying though, are we creating that? No, we're not. What are we doing to create that where we are? We got Pahokee, we got Belle Glade, we got South Bay.
Yeah.
Are we turning that into what we want it to be?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. We have to create. We have to produce something that serves our people.
Yeah.
And we have to be proactive about what's going on in our communities.
Yeah.
So this is where my mind is. Like, we can't wait for something to happen and then try to react to it. You're too late.
Yeah.
You're too late. We have to start thinking ahead, bro, and thinking about our own growth, our own development, and our own freedom, and create that. We have to learn how to start. Listen, we need to learn how to farm. Because there's some farmland for sale right now.
Yeah, we
need to start farming that land and at least produce something that we can consume ourselves.
Yeah.
Those are the types of things that we need to be working on in our community.
Yeah.
We do need to have people who have a heart for the Muck in political offices and things like that. We do need the people who have gone out and played professional sports or whatever, who have connections and resources. We need something legitimate for them to pour their resources into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we have opportunities there. We just have to prepare ourselves for those opportunities, and I think that's a good start for us. We do need to start criticizing who we're supposed to criticize, and whatever is not producing for us, we need to cut it off.
Yeah, man.
All right, that's all pruning is. You cut off the branches that are not producing anything and taking away from the whole vine, And so the whole vine can continue to grow.
Yeah.
So everything that's not producing, it needs to be cut off, and we need to focus our resources. Focus your money, focus your resources, stop all this other stuff, and let's redirect our money back into ourselves and create things for ourselves, bro. That's what we need to do.
That's good.
Yeah, man,
Those are the things that we need to do, bro.
But it sounds like it's in the casket too, bro.
I mean, you know what? Here's the thing: go to another country and start a nation there and see what happens. Which is easier to do. Impact Oakland in South Bay, or go to another country.
We can't even hang up town, bro. Bro,
whose fault that is?
They had a riot crew when we won state, D. We came back and won state in 2016, and this is true. We actually had cops up there in riot gear, and we couldn't even celebrate our kids after the state championship. Right here in Bulky, bro. We couldn't celebrate our kids, bro. Those are the type of things that trip me out.
And guess what, though? If we had enough of us on the police force, then maybe that wouldn't have happened. This is all I'm saying. We got to come up with solutions for the issues that we deal with on a regular basis. All right? We have such a negative relationship when it comes down to police. We hear that word police, and it's like the worst thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? And I know what that's like, bro. I'd have had police pull guns out of me, bro. I know the feeling. But what I'm saying is this. We have to figure out how we can solve that problem. If we didn't have such a negative connotation when we heard the word police, then maybe more of us would be police and be policing our areas. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I feel you, D, but it's like the same people that's oppressing us giving us solutions too. That's real, bro. Like how the people that's sitting there doing it to us gonna give us solutions? We can't trust that, bro. We can't, bro. It's crazy, bro. And from somebody that grew up in from a dope house, dog. It's like only thing I seen is that we were trying to make money, bro. Yeah. And pay our bills and survive. Yep. That's how I see it. Yeah. I didn't see us as a menace or we weren't riding around. No, we were just using the product that everybody was using at the time that you put in our hoods to really better ourselves. Yep. And my grandma, man, she was a great person, man. It's Saturday morning, you know what I'm saying? She cooking breakfast. It was a normal home, but we just sold dope. And so that dope selling that underworld brought criminal activity. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And that's what America loves, criminal activity. That's why they suppress everything. It's a black market for everything, man.
I'm just saying. Y'all did what y'all had to do to survive, just like a lot of people did what they had to do to survive. All right? And I get it, bro. But what I'm saying is, right now, at age 40, you haven't met any good police?
I don't know, bro. It's hard to say, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I have.
That's D on like. D, I'm always like, see with me, like I'm teaching my boys. I'm teaching them about awareness. You know what I'm saying? Just about who to hang out with, what to look out for, different things. You know, D. Our whole upbringing was based on, man, how they handle yourself when you get pulled over by the police, this and that, there, bro. Now, check it out. You might not know. When I was in Southern State, I got beat by the police, bro, for walking home from the club, bro. And the man asked me for my ID, and I'm like, man, why I gotta show you my ID? And he was like, man, show me your ID. And then he just proceeded to attack me just because I didn't want to show him. I'm like, man, I ain't got to show you my ID, man. I go to school here. And, bro, he just attacked me, bro. And then they made up some charges on me, bro. And so I'm saying now, okay, like, what? Okay, I could have died, bro. I'm going to say I could have died. And the only thing I was doing, D, was going home, bro. And then I just felt like, man, I ain't got to show you nothing, man, because I'm a student. That's my first time really been in a situation like that, bro. And I'm glad it went the way it went, but, bro, they gave me the business, bro. I got it, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, certain things we don't need to be governed like that, man. It's too much going on in this country, bro.
But the thing is, until you prove that you can govern yourselves, then other people will. It's just like, bro.
The alligator can govern itself.
Huh?
Birds can govern themselves.
Yeah, they do. And that's true.
We're the most rational being on earth. We should never have a problem governing ourselves, bro. You know what I'm saying? All
right, so if we don't have a problem doing that, then let's do that down the Muck.
Man, you gonna get shot, man. You gonna get
shot. Do it on the Muck, then. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Hey, listen, man. Like that, but that's what I'm saying, bro. Like I put it like this. I'm gonna tell you, okay. Like by my situation, I was in South Bay at the U building. My cousin stayed there. You know. And I was actually I was subbing at the time at Rosenwald, which is I could walk to Rosenwald from the U building. It's right there, right? So, here's the thing though. I'm in the house, You know what I'm saying? We shutting everything down. I hear me and my cousin are in the house, and I hear my other cousin come in the house. He ran to the bathroom, then he ran out. Right. So I was already like, okay, I don't know exactly what just happened, but I know if he came in, ran to the bathroom, and ran back out the house, it couldn't have been good. You feel me? So I'm now he gone. I'm in the house with his sister and the kids. Right? It's 2 bedrooms. I'm in one. You know, her and the girls in the other bedroom. You know, my other cousin slept on the couch, but he came in and went back out. So neither one we heard it, but we still didn't know what was going on. It was just starting to get dark a little bit. I had my cell phone in my hand, had my socks on. So we on the 2nd floor. I stepped out the door, and as soon as I stepped out the door, they came around the corner with their guns on them. Right? Now, I got a cell phone in my hand, number one, and I've seen brothers get killed with a cell phone in their hand. They tell me they saw a gun. You know what I'm saying? I done heard the story. Right. So I got 2 guns on me. I got officers that they got their guns on me and everything. Put my hands up. I got my phone. Bro, I got my socks on, so I'm slipping. So I can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stay still, dog, because I'm trying not to make no sudden movement. Right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but it wasn't the police that bothered me in that moment. What bothered me was that my cousin just did something that's going to get me killed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And see, and I'm like, and later on I found out he had just robbed somebody. He went in the house and stashed it. You know what I'm saying? And then ran back out. So they came right around the corner, bro, because they had to be on him. They had to be on this trail. They came around the corner, bro, on the 2nd floor in the U building with their guns on them. And I ain't had nothing to do with it. I just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. But at the same time, my cousin, this is what's going through my mind. It ain't the guns. It wasn't that I was afraid. It was my cousin about to get me killed. That's what bothered me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it right here. And I got a cell phone in my hand. My cousin about to get me killed, man. And so that affected me more than anything. Right. I can't blame the cops. They were trying to do their job. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's some bad cops out there, bro. But all I'm saying is, it's just like a female. Just because one female broke your heart, dog, it don't mean that all of them ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying?
But okay, I'm gonna go say with the female thing. Okay, that's nature. You know what I'm saying? And I can respect that. But we talking about police laws and limitations, different things like that, because, bro, it's built into the fabric that, bro, they're gonna give us the business, bro. And they've been doing it, bro. Yeah. They've been doing it, bro. And it is what it is, bro. My granddaddy got killed by a cop. Yeah. My older brother got killed by a cop, bro. And then go what the cops did, bro. They paid for his funeral.
Wow.
They swagged on us, bro. I was in 9th grade. They killed my brother. I mean, broke him up, bro. His whole torso was turned to the back. You know, brother James D, man. Yeah. I didn't even go to the funeral, bro, because it just blew my mind. Then it turned the guy loose and then relocated him, bro. That's it, bro. So you telling me, like, come on, bro? How much do that happen? How much that we don't know?
And you know what? And you know what, guys? I think the thing is, we have to understand that these type of things are both ends. They're both ends. Like, it's real. Like, both of y'all are saying is real. Like, it ain't like one is false, the other one is true. It's both and. Like, and I think that's one of the things that is hard for us to wrap our minds around sometimes in this country, is that at the same time one thing is going on, at the same time another thing is going on, and it's equally as true, equally as vivid, equally as real, just as the other thing is equally as true, equally as vivid. And I think that's hard for us to grasp. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times that's what we sometimes have to fight, is because it's hard for us to grasp, like, wait a minute, so both these things can be true at the same time? Like, yeah, they can be true at the same time.
But it's always a middle way, like with the Dow, and you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
It's a middle way. So we always got to find that middle ground, man. Yeah, and that's the main. Yeah, that's what you got to always find what's the main, and I think we'll be okay, bro.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Well, y'all,
Man, it's 12:35. God, no, I gotta be up 5 o'clock in the morning.
man, it's 3 hours. We did this for 3 hours, y'all, and it don't feel like it. It
Hours,
don't.
bro?
Yeah, we're going
Don't
on.
feel like it.
We're going on 2 hours and some change, right? But 2 hours and like 50
Man,
something
people
minutes.
still on this?
We got people, about 5 people watching still, man.
Still on this,
Yeah,
man.
man. You got people still
Juice,
watching.
bro.
Man. Hey, you got
Relax.
you got people that say they really appreciate it. They learned a lot, and I think that's the purpose of what we're doing. We want people to learn. We want people to think. We want people to think outside the box, man. We want all our people to think. Nobody got nobody has all the answers. And I
Right.
think we all shared some real stuff today. We all were honest. And I think that's what people want to hear. People want to hear that. And I think that's why State of the Muck is important. Because I think our voices in the muck haven't been heard properly. And so people got a lot of bottled up frustrations about the muck, and to hear 3 brothers from the muck talking about the muck honestly and talking about all kind of thoughts honestly, I think that makes a big difference, man. So, man, we appreciate everybody that was on tonight, man. Thank y'all, Dean. Thank you once again, bro, for coming on, man. We appreciate you, man. Hey, go check Dean out at King Dean.
Hey, you better get on, bro.
No, man, my wife man, like,
Oh Lord.
you know how I go. I mean, you know how I go.
Yeah, you got to shut it down. You got to shut it down other than that. Right. We know.
Hey, man.
We know.
Hey,
Been there, done that.
hey, hold on. Let me get you. Let me get you a little bit of this right here. Hey.
What you doing, bro?
Hey.
What's up, bro?
Hold up.
That's how.
Hey.
Don't do that man like that. Don't go get that man in more trouble,
Well,
bro.
make sure it's over this, boy.
Don't get that man in no trouble.
Bullet.
Don't get that man in no trouble, man. Don't get that man in no trouble, bro. Hey, man.
Hey, it's coming, bro. It's coming.
But hey, man, appreciate y'all.
Man.
Appreciate you,
man,
bro.
Appreciate
Hey,
yeah, man.
those y'all that are still on, go check out King Dean, man. He got his live stream that he does. Check him out. Follow him, man. Soon, y'all, we're going to be having a State of the Muck Facebook page, and we're going to have a State of the Muck YouTube page. So you'll be able to follow us from there. We're going to start having that for next week. So next time when y'all see us, we'll be coming from the State of the Muck actual Facebook page and YouTube line. So we want to get everybody in there.
Catch these bullets.
And so we just want to let everybody, hey, yo, thank y'all again, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much, man. Y'all have a great evening, man. And we'll catch y'all next week. Catch y'all next week.
Muck out.
All right, guys.
All right, peace.